morning, and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV, where I am your host, Drew Collins, bringing you all sports-related news here in the greater Cincinnati area. You already know we're the best sports network in the Cincinnati area, so if you haven't already joined the family, we're on hashtag Road to 2K. Hit that sub button. If you enjoyed what you've liked or what you've seen today, smash that like button. And yeah, you already saw the title of today's stream. We're just talking Cincinnati Bengals free agency. Basically, I'm going to talk about some of the moves they've made already. I'm going to talk about some of the moves I might suspect them to make, and then I'm not going to be ranking them because that is a stream slash video I will be coming out with soon, ranking the entire free agency as a whole, and then players each signing separately. So I will get into that quickly. Welcome back, everybody. It has been, I think, 2 months, a 2 month hiatus. I kind of just need a little bit of a break, that right after the season, Bengals don't make postseason all the way to now. There's really been little to no news, so nothing for me to talk about. Reds baseball has been kind of down the drain. So it's been this dark area where I really had nothing to talk about, but I am back. I plan on uploading every Tuesday and Thursday around 7 o'clock. I'm either going to be a video that day or a live stream. I already have a video I've been sitting on for about a month and a half. That's edited, done. I just have to upload it. It's actually an unboxing of fan mail. My lazy butt hasn't uploaded. All I gotta do is press the upload button. So I will get that up to you probably next Tuesday or Thursday. Whatever day I don't stream, on that Tuesday or Thursday, I will upload that video instead. So if you have any questions, please add me on my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and just ask me away. I apologize for my little hiatus, but I'm back, I'm better, and I'm ready to be consistent again and get into a lot of drama news, because finally we have some news with the NFL season upon us. Obviously, we got a while until kickoff, but some news. We got new player signings. We have players who have left the Bengals organization, and we still have more to come. I suspect by tonight we have another signing here very soon. I could be wrong, but I really, really think that Reef will be a Cincinnati Bengal before midnight tonight. That's my guess. Reading off some of the articles online and some of the pages I've seen on Twitter and other social medias, it really sounds like he's at Paul Brown Stadium earlier today. He's in Cincinnati. Not many times do players actually visit this stadium this late in the free agency or the legal tampering period and walk away without a contract. So I really do think Riley Reef will be a Cincinnati Bengal by tonight. But I'll be live for an hour, 2 hours. We'll see how long I am doing this. So hopefully if he does sign, he'll sign while we're live. So I'm going to go and give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Free Smoke, Night Wolf, hey man, I miss you too. John, what's up? Oh, Galladay, hey, spam up those Galladays in chat. I've been active on Twitter with that all day today. If you don't know what that means, Kenny Galladay basically is a free agent, and a lot of people suspect that he's either going to be a Giant or a Bengal. And today we were trending #1 on Twitter. The entire app, we were trending #1 with the hashtag Galladay. Basically, his name's Galladay, but you changed the A to an E like Houday, and it was literally trending #1 in the entire country or whatever on Twitter. So shout out to you Bengals fans, really putting in that recruiting work. Obviously, he had to see it. That might not be, I will get into his situation soon. I'm going to be roughly honest. But yeah, that was just really neat to see the whole Cincinnati Bengals community come together and, get spreading worldwide. That was really awesome. So spam up those Galladays. What's up, Luke? LT. Shout out to LT. It's good to have you back. Shaw, I know it's about time. I'm back and I'm ready. Best sports content, Cincinnati. Yeah, Luke, to answer that question, do you think we will get Galladay? To be completely honest, I do think there's a greater chance that he will end up as a Giant. I think I think it might just make a little bit more sense in his case. He's visiting the Giants before he visits Cincinnati, so that kind of stinks as well. I just think they have a greater chance, but I do think there's probably about a 60-40, 60 Giants, 40 Bengals. If you think about it, the market is the lowest it's been in a long time because of COVID. So because of that, a lot of these players, instead of signing a long-term deal like they usually do, if they do that, they're not going to get as paid as they would next year, the other years, in the future, because the salary cap is low. So if a player like Galladay who I think is around 27, 28. You know, he's in his prime. If he signs a 1-year deal to the team like the Bengals, who just lost their wide receiver one in the A.J. Green, you go there, he balls out on a 1-year deal, and he plays really well, well, he'll be able to revisit free agency next year when the salary cap is back up, and he'll be able to get a big-time contract either with another team or, you know, an extension with the Bengals. So I think it makes sense to go to Cincinnati. You know, obviously he'd pair up with Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. It'd be a really nice receiving core. But I think there's a chance because of that reason in particularly. But I think, you know, the Giants, he's going to go there, and a team like the Giants pay players like him big all the time. Even though, I mean, he's going to be getting thrown to by Danny Dimes over Joe Burrow. Come on. I mean, you already know who the better quarterback is. It's Joe Burrow. So I think there is a little bit of a greater chance for the Giants. But realistically, there are good reasons why he would go to the Bengals. And the reason why I think there's a good chance is because the Bengals didn't go to him. His little crew, like him and his agent and all that, went to the Bengals. Obviously the Bengals already had interest, but that's very intriguing that the players' team went to the Bengals. So I think, you know, that means something too. Yeah, Soko, I feel like he is definitely leaning towards New York, but I think there's still a great chance for the Bengals. And shout out to the whole Houday Nation for getting active on social media. You guys have been great. I might fish 5 days a week. I feel like he is leaning towards New York. Houday Drake, welcome back, Drake. Definitely an OG. I like how it's the QB's health, LOL. Do you think they will get Galladay? Galladay, I hope we get him. Me too. Hi, what's up? I'm a new person on your podcast. I just signed up. Welcome, Dennis. Welcome. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Ask any of the mods or me. Welcome to the DCTV family. I really appreciate that. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 o'clock, either a live stream or a video. I'm starting back up. I've had a 2-month hiatus. I was live. I started this YouTube channel coming up on a year almost. So let's hit 2K subs very soon. We're going to hit it. I know we will. Jonesboro. Burrow's definitely the better QB. And he has the higher. I think Danny Dimes isn't terrible. I just feel like he has to have a lot around him to flourish. You know what I mean? So. And obviously, Galladay would benefit him. What about Boye? I haven't seen much on Boye. I don't think much has been said. So, yeah, any recent rumors? So, yeah, that's what I'm going to get into. So, basically, I'm going to recap on all the signings real quick and then getting into the rumors. So, I'll do the rumors real quick. So, obviously, Riley Reef. It's the news flash. You get to protect Joe Burrow. He only allowed 1 sack the whole last season. I don't think we had a lineman that averaged less than 1 sack a game. I mean, Riley Reef, he's up there, but it doesn't matter. I think he's about 33 years of age. Excuse me. But he only gave up 1 sack the whole last season. So we need somebody like that on our team. It's a little bit awkward if you think about it because we have Jonah Williams at left tackle. Zach Taylor and the Bengals organization already came out and said, we are not moving Jonah. We are not. And you already know the Bengals are going to be drafting at number 5, Jonah Williams. What am I saying? I'm rusty. It's been like 2 months. You already know they're signing Panay, the left tackle. So obviously everyone thinks he's going to be switched to the right tackle, and those are your 2 tackles. Well, what was I just talking about? Man, I'm already forgetting them. So the tackle that we're interested in free agency, Riley Reef, he is also, I believe, a left tackle or right tackle. He's one of the tackle positions. I don't know which one. So if you get him, I don't think he has any experience at guard or center. So it's going to be kind of awkward. Who do you move? They said they're not moving Jonah. You have Panay, and you don't really want to move him from tackle because he's the best tackle in the draft. You don't just move somebody positions who's like the best at what they're doing. And then you have a guy who doesn't play any other position. Nonetheless, I want him to get paid just because you need the depth. How many offensive linemen did we get hurt last season? I mean, it was every game we had 2 or 3 linemen go down. So the more depth, the more better, and especially a veteran guy on this young team, young roster, that is what we need. So I'm all in for him no matter what. If it's a 1-year, 2-year, 3-year, I don't care. Bring him into Cincinnati. He's actually already here. Don't let him walk away. Excuse me. If you see me look away, I have my other devices. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss out on any breaking news. I'm waiting for Galladay to the Bengals or Reef to the Bengals or whatever. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, we need Riley Reef on this roster. They could figure out roster positions later once they have the whole team, the whole roster, and they get in the sprint and they get in the training and all that. Just get the guys. I mean, we really need Riley Reef. So out of the big, if I had to pick Galladay or Reef, I'm probably picking Reef. And you guys might look at me like, what? This kid, what is he talking about? And the reason why I say that is because my number one priority coming into free agency was what? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess what my number one priority was going into the free agency period? Give me a couple seconds. All right. Well, the number one priority was protect Joe Burrow. I mean, it's so obvious. Protect Joe Burrow. You can put as many weapons around him, but if you don't protect him, he won't get the ball to his weapons. He won't even be on the field via the 2020 season. So you have to protect him before you build around him. And as much as I like Galladay and I like all these, shiny receivers and, playmaking players, you got to protect them first. Offensive lineman, offensive lineman, offensive lineman. So if I have to pick Galladay or Reef, I'm taking Reef. Galladay is a spectacular player. Don't get me wrong. He's a receiver one on many teams in the NFL. He's 28 years old. I mean, the guy is a playmaker. Don't get me wrong. He is a baller. I want to see him in Cincinnati. Even though if I think he goes to Cincinnati, it'd be a one-year prove-it deal or whatever. Nonetheless, I would love to see him in Cincinnati. But I got to protect Joe Burrow. Excuse me. And I'll continue talking about that. And guys, if you are new around here, get active in the comment section. That's the whole point. The comment section is there. So if you disagree, if you agree, let me know in the comment section. I want to know what you guys are saying. I feel like this is a space. DCTV is a place you can come to and talk about, your expressions on the Bengals organization. Excuse my gallon bottle, but I am drinking orange water, so hopefully that's some good luck. There was a few times the past season when I was doing the live streams during the game, I had that orange water and the Bengals actually got the dub. So, but continuing on that topic, you just got to protect him because you could build around him all you want, but if he has less than 3 seconds to throw the ball, it's not going to be very successful. You saw the game plan last year. It was go out there, run these little tiny routes, slant routes, out routes that take less than 3 seconds and get the ball out of Burrow's hands because defensive linemen were coming crashing on him all season long, or he had to run for his life. So, sign, offensive lineman, Trey Turner, Riley Reef. There's still many, many options that will be a total upgrade instantly. And I'm really disappointed in the Bengals organization so far because they haven't signed anybody. Now, obviously, if I say Riley Reef, I can back off a little bit, but I see all of these optimistic Bengals fans, which is good. You want to be positive. I appreciate that. I truly do from the bottom of my heart. It's so hard to be positive in this organization year after year. But I am truly so disappointed in all the offensive linemen who have just gone off the board. Day 1, day 2, tomorrow will be day 3 if we don't sign anybody. It's completely ridiculous. There's been so many options. I understand some of these guys are getting paid ridiculous money, and the Cincinnati Bengals organization just can't keep up with these other teams that get more money. I get the revenue aspect. But you got to get to these guys, and you got to get to them early. What do the Chiefs do? They get to these guys early. Take the money away. They got to that guy as soon as possible. You know what I mean? So you see these guys that go after him quick, and that's just the Bengals. They never hit on day 1, and it's so frustrating because what are the teams hitting on day 1? It's the teams that want to win. And yes, I will get into the new moves they made. The Bengals have made some great moves and some moves that I'm kind of questionable about until we get into that. So I'm about to hop into that. But if there's one thing I am very disappointed in this entire offseason, it's the fact that we have not signed a single offensive lineman. Totally unacceptable, and it really is aggravating for me. You just saw what happened to Joe Burrow last season. Do you want it to happen again? Come on. You can sign all the cornerbacks, all the defensive linemen, all the offensive linemen, or not the offensive linemen, all the linebackers, safeties, corners. It don't matter, but if you don't sign any offensive linemen, you're not doing the team any justice. I'll read up on some comments, and then I'll get into some of the Bengals signings so far. So if you got any questions or anything, put it in there while I'm reading it. Lineman. Yes, you guys are all right. Not your puppet, Rocket, Luke. You guys are all correct. Shaw said, I agree to protect him, but ironically, many fans still think to build defense. Now, the defense was a very, 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 it was pretty bad last season. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of holes. The defensive line was awful. Linebackers are young and inexperienced. Secondary is getting burnt and we're injury prone. And really, the only two positions we had that were like great on defense were our safeties, was Von Bell and Jesse Bates. So the only two guys where I wasn't worried about, like, oh gosh, here we go again. The defense has a lot of holes, and I'm very glad the Bengals are hitting on that. You know what I mean? I'm really appreciative that they've done that. But offensive line is more of a key to me. Just solely to protect Joe Burrow is more important than a team scoring 30 points on us. But yes, I am glad they have approached our defense in different ways. But I do think it's a little controversial with the Carl Lawson aspect, letting him walk and signing this other guy. Who is this guy? We'll get into that. Let's see. You guys are coming pretty fast. I'll try to catch up. Hi, I was wondering, since last year the Bengals, I'm gonna assume instead of the Beatles, with all the defensive players and free agency, same thing this year, defensive players, do you think they're going to wait for the draft? I think where the Bengals are at right now with all the defensive signings, I would say that's enough. I don't think they're really going to go after anybody unless we're looking at role players, backup defensive linemen, backup linebackers, maybe a veteran guy. Other than that, I don't think you'll see any more big, signings on the defense, excuse me. So, yeah, I think the rest, you head into the draft and you draft some more young linebackers, some young corners, young defensive linemen. I agree with that. Plus, our wide receivers aren't bad compared to our line. Yes, I completely agree. I mean, I think people are forgetting about T. Higgins. Like, this guy is a monster. He had a monster rookie year. I feel like just because John Ross walked, all of a sudden we got a big error in our receiver core. No, John Ross was awful. And same with AJ the past 2 seasons. He didn't play. When he did play, he was terrible. So it's like, oh, AJ Green gone. Like, we got to sign a receiver. Like, AJ Green really didn't do much besides, gather some double teams. I'm not going to act like that wasn't a big deal. Obviously, before the previous 2 seasons, AJ Green was one of the best, if not the best receiver in the game. I'm not going to ignore that. But the past 2 seasons, when he's been on the field, he's really just been a decoy. He hasn't done much. Look at the stats if you disagree with me. So I don't think receivers are a big problem, but I enjoy that they're trying to put weapons around Burrow. I will not argue that. Do you think we still have a shot at Panay after Dolphins got Will Fuller? Yeah, I still think we have a shot. We might have to move back if he does get picked and pick Slater, the other tackle. But I still think the Bengals still have a great shot at Panay. You're so happy about, what's that say? I'm assuming that's a Woozier, the corner. Oh yeah, Woozier. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about it. And I'm also going to do live streams and videos on the in particular players. So each signing in the future, I'll either do an in particular stream or in particular video talking about each signing we have, so you can learn more about the player and what might to look forward to. Fat Randy is gone to Lions. Is that true? Is that confirmed? I didn't see anything about that, but if it's true, let me know. I didn't see that. Gabe Jackson traded for a 5th. We couldn't offer that. Yeah, man. I mean, that's D-man. You hit it right. That's perfect. That's exactly one of the ones I saw. And if you follow me on Twitter, I quote tweeted the Adam Schefter response, and I was like, facepalm. Like, are you serious? A 5th rounder for a possible starting offensive lineman for us, at least? That's ridiculous. Who are we going to draft for a 5th rounder? A backup defensive lineman? When you can trade that for an immediate starter on the offensive line? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I literally said something on my Twitter. I got no likes. People just scrolled over like, oh, this kid's a hater. No, but it's just frustrating, man. I know Bengals aren't the most active team, but damn, a 5th rounder for a possible starting player? Crazy. Draft the best quarterback to ruin his career, WTF. Gotta protect him, man. That's all I'm going to say. Fortunately, Bengals are cheap and will depend heavy on the draft for O-line help. But, yeah, they've been cheap in the past. I mean, before last year, the Bengals were literally like the cheapest team, top 10 cheapest team in all of sports. NHL, MLB, NBA, football. Literally, Mike Brown was one of the cheapest owners of all time before last season. Obviously, last season, they overpaid Trey Waynes, possibly, paid a couple other players, Von Bell and others. And in this season, we've signed some more players. So they've spent some money, just, I don't think at the right, not the most needed spots, at least as of yet. Wink, wink. Let's get that Riley Reef news as soon as possible. Come on. Management, ownership enjoy being a Buckeye fan. Yeah, I'm not a Buckeye fan, but I'm sure you are, and I'm sure you like it. We need a corner in the second round. Are we resigning Mackenzie Alexander? So I have not seen really anything on Mackenzie Alexander back to the Bengals. I saw a few weeks ago something in the media, some article somebody wrote in Cincinnati. It might have been Ben Baby or somebody, one of the people. And it said that Mackenzie Alexander had problems fitting in with the Cincinnati locker room or the Cincinnati mojo, something like that. I mean, it was an article a few weeks ago, and I don't know if it's true or not, but seeing that was kind of, concerning a little bit. And I didn't really understand it, because every time I saw him, he was playing his ass off. He was with players, having a good time. You watched the Steelers game. He hugged the coach, Zach Taylor. Like, every time I saw Mackenzie Alexander, he was making plays and having a good time. But then I saw that article, and I was like, what? And now I'm here, and I'm like, I haven't seen anything. The only thing I've seen about Mackenzie Alexander is him going back to the Vikings with Mike Zimmer, which actually makes sense. But the Vikings just signed another corner, Patrick Peterson. So I don't know if that got shot down because they signed Patrick Peterson. Like, if maybe the Vikings, if they couldn't get Peterson, they were going to bring back Alexander. I don't know. I really hope we bring back Alexander. I know we've kind of got these other guys, but if we could bring him back on a pretty cheap deal, I like it. But at the same time, you've already signed sorry about that. We already signed 2 other corners. Do we want to spend the money on corner 3 players? I don't know. It seems like at this point we aren't going to bring him back. Kind of disappointed. He is a great, I think Mike Hilton takes his spot, because Mike Hilton's, I believe, is a slot corner. That's what Alexander played. So if I have to be honest answer, I don't think he's coming back. But I liked Alexander. He really didn't get burnt a lot, and he is a great tackling corner. So it stinks if we're gonna lose him. Logan Wilson shows promise. Yes, if Logan Wilson can stay healthy, he'll be one of the premier linebackers in the next few years. Excited about the defense next year. Hilton is nice in the secondary. I agree, D-Man. I agree. It could be a better pass rush. Our defense could be a lot better. Mac Alex is gone. Yeah, I think he'll be gone. Okay, so finally someone brings this up. I think it's a great point, something that's overrated, and something I really haven't seen much about. We got to re-sign Spain. Quentin Spain, man. We'll go back to last season, what happened. Middle of the season, injury after injury. Offensive line's the worst in the year by a long shot. Burrow's running for his life. Quentin Spain has locker room issues and culture issues with the Buffalo Bills. He was a starter. He was a freaking menace, a man among boys. They have to release him because they said he's not going to play. Bengals go out there. I was one of the first people. I was like, Bengals, please, Bengals, please. I remember being on Twitter. I was like, come on, Bengals, like at them and everything. Bengals signed him to a 1-year prove-it deal. He comes in, starts the rest of the season, and that man was a leader on that offense line. Didn't get hurt. Quentin Spain, I hope we get him back. I know he's about 28, 29, 30-ish, around that range, but still, he was very solid, and he looked like a leader. And most of the time, when I saw that offensive line pushing forward, rarely when I saw it pushing forward, it was Quentin Spain pushing up in that guard position to punch in Joe Burrow for a sneak or mixing up the gut or whoever up the gut. So I would love to see Spain return. I mean, he honestly came in and he was a leader immediately. You could just tell that he's just on a different level than the rest of our offensive linemen. I mean, Jonah Williams, don't get me wrong, he was good, but you don't really see him pointing around, tapping on players. He's more quiet, just get in there and do your job, which is okay. If you're good, you're good. Like, I'm not going to hate on that. But Quinn Spain came in, and he was telling guys where to go. I mean, you could just tell, like, that guy's a true leader. You could tell he came into Cincinnati being on a team like Buffalo, like, what the hell are you guys doing? Let's get it fixed around here. So I'd love to see Quentin Spain return. And to be quite honest, I haven't seen much about him at all, to be completely honest. So I have no idea. I haven't seen anybody going after him. So why wouldn't the Bengals offer him something? Once again, you need that depth. Even if you bring him back and, we move Riley Reef or we move Panay or somebody in the draft, it's good to have those valuable options. Okay, let's rotate this guy in. Let's do that out. You want to do that with good, talented players, not with third and fourth string offensive linemen. that we had to do last season. So that's a great point. A great point. Bengals need to draft an outstanding kicker, especially with Zach Collins' plays. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to sign anybody because they got that guy in the offseason from the Browns, that Seibert guy. I think I'm pronouncing that right. They got him, and then they kind of played him. They played Fat Randy. I don't really know what they were doing. I mean, pick a guy and let him go. Kickers run off confidence. So when you're benching that guy for this guy, then benching that guy back for this guy, you kill their confidence. What do? They miss kicks. So, I think that's something unrestricted free agents, usually after the draft, that's where you see a majority of the kickers get picked up at. No more Fat Randy? I don't know. I will have to see. What's up, Coop? Good seeing you back in here, buddy. Dennis said, hi, I was wondering if you were going to do StreamYard on your podcast, so virtually talk to you face-to-face. Yeah, I do have StreamYard downloaded. I'm not going to be doing it for today's stream, but in future streams, I do plan on bringing on people. So yeah, the StreamYard will be something I'll be doing. Just not this in particular stream, so I will be doing that, though. Also, for the streams where I'm not bringing people on, but you still want to give your opinions or maybe you want to get in contact with me, join the Discord. It's a free app. There's about 90 plus Bengals fans, and all we do is talk Bengals and Reds baseball. And that's a great way where a lot of people can join StreamYard and stuff with me to talk face-to-face. If we get Panay, do you think he'll take Jonah's spot? No, because I think he should, yes. But no, because I'm pretty sure I saw something where Zach Taylor said that they're not moving Jonah Williams. I could have swore I saw an article on that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I could have swore Jonah Hill, yeah. I know, I kind of said Jonah Hill. I was like, Jonah Williams. I was like, but, we all make mistakes, no hate. But I'm almost positive I saw an article where it said they weren't going to move him. But, that's a good problem to have. A top 5 draft pick, and I think, what was Jonah? I think a top 10, top 15 draft pick 2 or 3 years ago. Who do you want, left tackle, right tackle? Left tackle, that's a good problem to have, so we'll have to see. What is our offseason grade? We signed Reef and Galladay along our current signings. I'm not going to give a grade quite yet, just because that's actually one of my future streams, so I don't want to ruin it now. I'll be grading each individual signing, and then the entire grade, the whole thing. But I'll give you a little sneak. Trying to go into our current signings, but you guys are counting like crazy. If we get Galladay, do you think we should get Chase still at 5? No. So Randy Bullock to Lions confirmed. Good for him. No more Fat Randy. Oh, man, we have so many memories for the people that were here last season and were here for live for the games. My live reaction to the chip shot field goal. I put the helmet on and raged. Oh, that was fun. Good times. Can we get a goodbye, Fat Randy chant in the chat? Fat Randy was a Bengal for a long time. Get some Fat Randys in the chat. What do you think of Trey Hendrickson? That's what I'm about to get into. I'll get into that right now. Jonah Williams sucks. He does not. He's just been injury prone. But when he's on the field, he's actually really good. It's just when he's on the field. I mean, he is by far best offensive lineman outside of Spain for 2 months of football. So, yeah, I'll get into the signings so far for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, obviously, Trey Hendrickson, the defensive end out of the New Orleans Saints, I think is probably the biggest one out of all of them, at least money-wise. And I think it was the first one, possibly. So, yeah, it was kind of a shocker, at least for me. I was like, who? And I looked at the stats, and I was like, okay. So, basically what happened is the Bengals let Carl Lawson walk. Carl Lawson gets paid at the Jets. Kind of sucks for him, but in New York, I guess some people might value that more than Cincinnati. Nonetheless, they let Carl Lawson walk, and people are like, they got to resign him, right? They're going to resign him, right? And nothing happens. And once it was the end of day 1, I saw we weren't resigning him. I was like, he's gone. Somebody else is going to go sign Carl Lawson. He was second in the league for QB pressures. Second in the entire National Football League. Someone doesn't get in the free agency second in a good category like that, a game-changing category, and not get picked up day 1, day 2. So once I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to let him walk. Our defensive line's terrible. And then breaking news, Trey Hendrickson, $15 million salary, $60 million, 40 years total, $32 million guaranteed. I was like, who is this guy? To be honest, I didn't watch much of Saints last season. And when I did, it wasn't really their defense. So I've done a little bit of research, but like I said, I'm going to do streams in the future on individual of each player. But yeah, the crazy, most ironic thing about this is that Carl Lawson also got paid $15 million salary. I think he just got an extra year or 1 year less. I think there's a 1 year difference, but he also got paid $15 million salary. So everyone was like, in question, why would you pay this guy to come in here and not Carl Lawson when it's the same money? Because majority of people thought, oh, they're going to pay this guy because, Lawson's going to want more than this guy. So they're going to save a little bit of money. No, they don't. It's literally the same exact. So that kind of blew out people's minds, and including mine. But if I looked at his stats, he was, I think, third in sacks and defensive ends last season, 13.5. That's more than double Carl Lawson's. Now, the only argument here is that Carl Lawson had 5 sacks. This guy had 13.5. That's a pretty big difference. You look at it and you're like, okay, I like Trey. I like what he does. But Carl Lawson was second in QB hurries. And although those aren't sacks, a lot of people value that just as important. If not, some people value that more important because you're getting to the quarterback in less than 3 to 4 seconds and you're getting the ball out of his hands. You might not come down with the football, but you're getting out, you're making him get out the pocket and be uncomfortable the entire game. So that was very valuable. I really liked Carl Lawson. He is just a specimen, man. He is huge. He's quick. I definitely was disappointed in his sack total, but nonetheless, he was getting to the quarterback, just not bringing him down. Trey, he had a little bit more success bringing him down. Like I said, 13.5 sacks. Hopefully, he can keep doing that. I believe they're the same age or 1 year younger, 1 year older. They're both around that 26, 27 range. So it was good they didn't let him walk and then go sign a 31-year-old defensive end. That would have stunk because you want to keep the team pretty young, pretty fresh. So we brought Von Bell over from the Saints last year. Now we bring over Trey. I'm really excited to see what he does. I got to watch some more footage on him. I haven't been able to watch much of his game. I've just kind of looked at stats. But I also put in play, okay, 13.5 sacks. That's pretty well. But who was on his defensive line? That defensive line in New Orleans, he had a lot of guys where he probably didn't face too many double teams. I mean, you got Cameron Jordan. That whole defensive line is really good in New Orleans. So this guy probably wasn't facing double teams. So he was probably one-on-ones, which, allowed him to get to the quarterback a lot. So let me know your guys' opinions on the Trey Hendrickson, signing and letting Carl Lawson walk. Put your comments on that in the chat. All right, next up is corner Joby Awuzie. Joby Awuzie, he is a former Dallas Cowboys. Seen a big market, the biggest market in all of sports, come to Cincinnati. Crazy, right? Yeah, Joby Awuzie leaves Dallas with all those big money contracts and comes to Cincinnati, gets a pretty good payday too. I thought his contracts, as of what I've seen so far, obviously there's still more players to sign and all that, but money-wise, I think it's a pretty good spot where he's at. Once again, I gotta watch more footage on him. Didn't really watch much of the Cowboys after Dak got hurt, so I'm gonna have to watch some footage. But as what I've seen, he's 1 year younger than William Jackson, I believe. And I think the big thing here was I kind of assumed personally. I thought William Jackson wasn't coming back. I think 75%, if not more, Bengals fans thought he was coming back. I was in that sliver of majority that just really didn't think he was coming back. And I ended up being right. But, Jackson left. He got paid. And then we bring in Joby to, take his spot. I looked at his stats, but I forgot some of them. So let me go back. Yeah, I mean, he's 6 foot, so he's bigger, just like William Jackson. Nowadays, you almost always have to have a big corner. He's 25 years old, so he's still young, going to be getting into his prime. Last season, he had 1 interception and 38 combined tackles. Oh, yes. So he was hurt half the season. I remember looking at his stats. I think he only played 8 games last year. because of a hamstring injury early in the season, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure looking that up yesterday. That's what I remember. He didn't play. Yeah, he missed. Oh, he missed 8 games. He missed 8 games. So he's had some injuries in his career. Not the coolest thing to have, but William Jackson had a couple injuries too, obviously. So through 8 games, he has 1 pick. He has 4 picks total in his career, 213 combined. I gotta look up some more stats, but his contract was $21.7 million or 25. Yeah, $21.75 million. Once again, I think this is a guy that has a lot of potential. He's younger. William Jackson is still young, but I think William Jackson's kind of topped. I think personally that's why I didn't think he was coming back, because I think the Bengals wanted somebody who had a little bit more of a ceiling, and I think that's what Joby offers rather than William Jackson. So that helps. He got paid less than I believe William Jackson. So yeah, 3 years, 21.75. That includes $9 million in the first year. So 9. Yeah. Let's see. So it says the Bengal likes his athleticism and consistency. I'll tell you one thing. There was one thing William Jackson was consistent at, and that was getting burnt at least once or twice a game for a touchdown. I mean, boy, William Jackson, he was cornerback 1, so he had to play the best. But man, once or twice a game, he was good for a good burning of a 30, 50-yard reception, sometimes even a touchdown. So hopefully Joby's not the same. I did read some stuff that he does kind of just like William Jackson. He gets lost in the backfield with his eyes sometimes, leading him to get burnt. So let's hope we don't see a lot of that. But he's a former second rounder. In 16 games, started, he's had 1 interception, 14 pass defended, 79 tackles, a PFF grade of 72.2 in 2019, and a rookie season of 78. The 72.2 was 2019, but last season it was a 51.9. So probably why he didn't get paid as much as he could have. But yeah, honestly, I liked it. I wasn't the biggest William Jackson III fan. I liked him because he was a Bengal. Obviously, I liked him because of that. But honestly, I thought he was kind of capped out where he was. Let's hope Joby has a little bit more of a ceiling. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's a good move, I guess, but we're still not improving. We lost a defensive end, we gained a defensive end back. We lost the cornerback, we gained a quarterback back. I mean, we kind of really didn't improve, if you think about it. I mean, we didn't improve much. We just signed back what we lost. And a lot of Bengals fans on Twitter were like, oh, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, like, oh, we're going crazy. It's like, dude, relax. I'm not happy. At this point, I'm not happy. I'm happy they spent a little bit of money. They got some players, but stop acting. I don't know how some of these Bengals fans can just be so glee happy. It's like we still didn't get a lineman. We still didn't get this. We're still not protecting Joe Burrow, which we need to do. Nonetheless, I support the positivity. Next, we get, because of a little bit less amount we paid to Joby than we did William Jackson, what are we going to do with that leftover money? Boom. We're going to tag team another corner, Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton, a Steeler. Pittsburgh Steeler. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on a Pittsburgh Steeler coming to be a Bengal? So, nonetheless, Mike Hilton, he is one of the best slot corners in the NFL. He is a goblin. This guy is a beast. He is a slot corner. So, what does this tell me? We probably aren't re-signing Alexander, as I do believe Mike Hilton is better than Alexander. Once again, what are the Bengals doing? They're just replacing what they're losing. So, we lost defensive end, we gained defensive end. We lose a cornerback, number 1. We gained a cornerback number 2 because Trey Waynes is going to come back off an injury, and Trey Waynes is going to be the cornerback number 1. He's going to be the cornerback number 2. We're going to lose a slot cornerback, Mackenzie Alexander. What do? We sign a slot cornerback. So once again, here I am like, oh, I'm happy we're getting these guys, but are we really improving by that much? I mean, we're kind of just gaining what we're losing. Do you guys see where I'm at this point? Trying to be positive, trying to get my head up. Focus on the future, what we're told to do as a Bengals fan with the young team, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, do you see where I'm going with this? We're just signing players we're losing, or positions of players. I do think Mike Hilton's better than Alexander, although I said I like Alexander. So, I mean, there's your cornerback 1, 2, and 3. Trey Waynes, Awuzie, and Mike Hilton in the slot. there you go. I'm assuming that we're gonna draft a corner, so throw him in there with that cornerback 3 and Hilton and the slot. So once again, I think our secondary did improve. It probably did improve. Plus, we get Trey Waynes back. Just by getting Trey Waynes back, it improves tremendously. We paid him big time money last season. I kind of think we overpaid a little bit. Hopefully he proves me wrong. But we paid him big bucks last season. He missed the entire season with an injury. We get him back. I think our secondary is going to be very much improved because we already have the best safety duo in the NFL I just mixed the two up, and Von Bell and Jesse Bates, and then you throw in some good secondary players. I'm really liking our secondary a lot more this season. Although I do not like our defensive coordinator. Hashtag fire Lou. Yes, I am still on that until he shows me otherwise. I don't like the person calling the defensive plays. I do like the players we have gotten in return. Obviously we had a couple re-signings. We re-signed Samaje Perine. I think it's Perine. We re-signed him. He's just a backup running back. He got to see some time last season with Mixon being out. We also get Mixon back. So he's kind of the third string behind Bernard. I do think we'll see Bernard walk. I think this next season or the season after that. I think he'll either retire or walk. You just really can't bring back a running back that old when you have young guys like this for a backup. I guess the next biggest signing was Larry Angun Joby. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. Larry Angun Joby, a defensive tackle. To be honest, I really do not know much about Larry. When I saw this signing, I was pumped because our defensive line was awful. And then I looked into him. The guy's a big boy. He's very, very powerful. 6'3", 304 pounds. I've watched a little bit of tape on him. I need to watch more, just like the rest of them. And he is just shoving these linemen in the back. Kind of like Mike Daniels. I saw a little bit. Mike Daniels didn't really make a lot of plays, but he was moving linemen in the backfield to help disrupt the run majority of the time, and sometimes the quarterback having to get out the pocket. I saw a little bit of that from Larry. It's always weird, division players going to another team. So now we get a Browns player, we get a Steelers player. I'm just waiting to get a Ravens player at this point. So he's a defensive tackle. He's probably just here to help the run stuff. $6.2 million on a 1-year proven contract. A lot of guys like this that are kind of mid-tier, maybe a little bit high tier, are signing these 1-year deals because of the low salary cap because of COVID. So they signed this 1-year deal, they work their butt off, they have a good season, and then they're set up in free agency next year to get paid the big bucks. So you're going to see a lot of signings like this. I think it's a good contract. $6 million for a defensive tackle to help step in. He has 14.5 career sacks and coming off a season with 2.5 sacks, and a season before that, 5.5 sacks. Obviously, the numbers aren't jumping off the charts. Defensive tackles rarely get sacks, like a lot of sacks. But I'm sure this is just for the run game. I mean, we were one of the worst, if not the worst teams when it came to run stopping up the gut last season. I know we had injuries. Oh, by the way, we got to cut Geno Atkins. I love Geno. He's an all-time Bengal, but his contract is no bueno. We have to cut Geno Atkins, and we have to cut Bobby Hart. I was going to talk about that, but I forgot. While I'm on here, the Bengals have to cut Geno Atkins or reconstruct his contract. I think you just cut him. And then you got to cut Bobby Hart too. Those guys have too much money to the salary cap. Cut them, even save the money for the future, or cut them and go spend the money on Riley Reef and some other guys. Obviously, we're still at a good spot with the salary cap, but there's no reason those two guys should be getting paid what their contract is. They are just not worth it at this time in 2021. No way. I mean, Geno Atkins is never healthy, and when he is, last season he was at best a second string. If he was 100% healthy or not. I mean, he just wasn't good. I mean, guys that were usually 4th, 5th string defensive tackles were starting over him when he was healthy. When he was healthy, as they say. But, guys like Mike Daniels, that guy that starts with the G. I mean, guys that came off practice squads from other teams that we signed were playing over him. So Larry, 26 years old, so either he'll play good and we'll re-sign him next season, or, what I think, he'll play good and then he'll go somewhere else and make some money. So I think it's a good deal for both of us. Obviously, and then we brought back Mike Thomas as well. He was like fifth string, fourth string receiver. It's always good to have depth. And another thing is, I've heard all this receiver talk, and yes, it's always good to fantasize about players, especially superstars, to come to your team. But does anybody forget about Auden Tate? I mean, I feel like just a year ago, before the season, everyone's talking about breakout season, Auden Tate making this catch in practice, yada, yada, yada. You know, it was all over Cincinnati news. Auden Tate is going to have a major season. He didn't, but, you know, he ended up having a surgery, I believe. But I think people are forgetting that we have him. And if I'm right, I think he's on a contract year this year, next year. So he's going to be playing for the money. You know what I mean? So I think people are forgetting about Auden Tate. You know, you're going to have Tyler Boyd, you have T. Higgins, Auden Tate. You know, I think the Bengals will draft somebody mid to late rounds as a receiver. I think possibly another John Ross. Obviously not as early, but I think a young, speedy threat is what the Bengals kind of need. I think they will draft that mid to late rounds. I don't have any prospects in mind of a name, but you know, personally, I do think that's going to happen. I'm going to check my Twitter real quick and see if I've missed any signings, and I'm going to catch up in the chat. So let me know your opinions. I'm going to catch up on the chat right now. I think the Bengals were betting on Lawson a little cheap since the Bengals were desperate. They signed Trey. Yeah. Well, and they end up being the same amount. Oh, yeah. Breaking the Lions are signing Bengals kicker Riley Bullock. Wow. Bears are releasing corner Kyle Fuller. Whee. Wow, that's tough. I mean, he is a Pro Bowl. I think he's been in the Pro Bowl before. Someone's going to get lucky with him. I know we've kind of already signed 2 corners, but I want to draft an edge in the second. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a value spot for our secondary too. But I mean, if there's someone there specifically, it would definitely be nice to get someone paired up with Sam Hubbard. I'm waiting for Hubbard to have a breakout season, man. But if I don't see it this next season, I don't know. It's gonna hard to get him another contract when he's not doing much. Would have been really happy if we got both. Yeah. Cheeto is his nickname. Yeah, I didn't know that. I think we should have kept Carl and got Trey too. And it's not that I was in love with Carl Lawson, but when you have a player at such a valuable position, have such a valuable stat and second in the league, oh man, that's tough to give up. You know, I know the sack numbers weren't there, and that's frustrating with second in QB rushes. But I mean, you bring in a Trey who had 13.5 sacks, which was up there with sack totals entire season. So hopefully he brings it. I watched Jonah get tossed like a rag doll against Cleveland. Yeah, he had a few iffy games. Awuzie is a question mark. Have to see how he plays in the Lou scheme. Yeah. Lou, I just don't like Lou that much. I really don't. Yeah, around April. Awuzie is a borderline number 1 cornerback. It's fairly optimistic. But, I mean, we don't need a number 1 cornerback until we got Trey Waynes for. I think a lot of people forgot about Trey Waynes. He will be our number 1. At least he better be, because we paid him as if he's a number 1 corner. Paid him that guy like over $40-50 million. He better be a number 1 corner. We got Awuzie and Hilton for the same price as Jackson. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Mike Hilton's a top slot corner. I agree. And like Jerry said, all these players are little upgrades. I agree. But seeing all these people going out and just saying, oh, like people like me that are realistic, that are like, I like this deal, but I don't love it. I like what the Bengals are doing. I don't love it. You know, they'll get like 1 or 2 likes on a Twitter post. But then all these guys that are over here, yolly jolly, oh, the Bengals doing this, who they like doing all that. And it's just like they'll get like 500 likes for saying that. And it's like, you got to be realistic, man. Yes, these are little upgrades, but the Bengals aren't doing what they need to do, and that's protect Joe Burrow. No offensive lineman signings. And I know there's still time, and I don't want to be that Debbie Downer. I'm just keeping it realistic, man. I'm not getting my hopes high. Oh, yeah, and that's true. I totally forgot about DJ Reader. That's a great point, John. I mean, you get DJ Reader in that defensive line, too, so I don't think the defensive lineman we got will start over DJ Reader. At least I hope not, because we played DJ Reader some decent money, at least more money than that. So you get DJ Reader back up there, who missed last season with some injuries. You could throw this guy in there. The new defensive lineman. I mean, our D line could be very much more improved if they stay healthy. And I really look forward to seeing some DJ Reader football. I was so pumped to get him in there, and then just seeing him go down and miss the season, I was like, just couldn't. It was almost 50-50 if a player was going to go down with an injury this season. It sucked. Let's see. What's going on with Joe Mixon? He's had some cryptic tweets on Twitter. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Kind of just like emoji tweets, like hitting at things. No one really knows what it is. It's cryptic for a reason. Kind of like Stephon Diggs, all these players in the past, you've seen these cryptic tweets not lead to good things. I don't think that's what it means. I don't think it's anything negative just because he just got paid. And it seems like he has a good relationship with the owners. That's what, at least it's portrayed in the media. But, I mean, other than the cryptic tweets, not much. I think he's just getting healthy and getting ready for the season. Yeah, Larry was a good pickup. Yeah, Mike Daniels is a free agent, so as of right now, he is not a Cincinnati Bengal. But I'd like to see him come back, add even more depth. I mean, he would be defensive tackle 3 or 4. And that's a good defensive tackle 3 or 4 to have. It's pronounced Larry Ungun Joby. Ungun Joby. All right. Are we going to do anything in the free agency today? I am just waiting for the Riley Reef tweet. Matter of fact, I'm going to tweet at one of the NFL rumors page. It has 30,000 followers. They've been right about a lot of stuff. So I'm going to tweet them right now. What's the update on the Bengals signing Reef? If you haven't already, please go follow me on Twitter and all my other socials. But I'm mostly active on my Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is more centered around just when I upload. My Twitter is more like tweeting constantly every day about the Bengals football. So Drew_Collins11. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button for me and hit that sub button. Join the DCTV family. Hashtag on the road to 2K. When we hit 2K subs, I will be giving away a Bengals jersey, the new stripes jerseys. So as soon as we hit 2K subs, I'm going to be giving away the new jerseys. So hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. What are we saying in the comments? Rondale Moore and Tutu Atwell are the two main big speed threats in this draft. Oh, I'd always like to get one on our team, What are your odds in the Bengals landing Kenny? About 60-40. I think the Giants are up 60. We're down 40. I think that's probably the odds of what, all the articles and all the rumors I've seen. That's about what it's looking like. The reason why I think the Giants have a little bit more of a reach is because he's meeting with the Giants before he meets with the Bengals. And majority of the times when players meet with teams, they usually don't end up leaving. They usually sign that contract before they leave. So that's why I think the Giants have a little more of a push. Another reason is I would say the second reason is because I believe the Giants are going to give him a long-term deal, and if he signs with the Bengals, I think the Bengals are going to sign him to a 1-year deal. Just because they're going to sign him to a 1-year deal, which actually could benefit him because he's not going to get paid a lot this season no matter where he goes or as much as he could because of low salary cap. Just give him a 1-year deal, give him some money, prove it year the next season when the salary cap is back up, which it sounds like it's going to be, he's going to get paid the big bucks. So it could benefit him. And he's going to be catching balls from Joe Burrow and not Danny Dimes, overthrowing, underthrowing, throwing it to the wrong team. He's going to have Joe freaking Burrow. So, if there is something going the Bengals' way, I think those are the two biggest things. What's up, Andrew? Good seeing you in here. We can trade Gino to move up in the draft. I do think trading Geno is a possibility. I did see some articles about that, but I just think most teams won't trade anything, if not a lot, for him because they know if the Bengals don't want to, if the Bengals aren't going to trade him, they know the Bengals will probably release him, and then they could just go sign him instead of giving up some draft capital. You know what I mean? So I think there is a chance he could get drafted, but I think a lot of teams are like, why are we trading this guy a pick for a pick when we could just pick him up with some cash? You know what I mean? And probably for an even cheaper deal than what he's on. I don't think any other team looks at Geno Atkins and sees that money. It's like, oh, that's a good deal. So I think that's why it's a little unlikely. We need one or two O-line signing in free agency, then draft Penny. I'm waiting. Tyler. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I saw the Deshaun Watsons. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, but to have 3 all in 1 week, that's tough, man. Especially with everything that's going on, might be a little bit of a turnoff for some teams. But hey, innocent until proven guilty. So glad the AJ drama is over. I just got my Houday, and then I'll have to send a pic. Or my Houday hat. All right, send a pic. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. At me on Twitter if you got Twitter. But yeah, man, that AJ Green drama is just so toxic because when he's one of my favorite players of all time growing up, and then I'm older, I'm a college student, I start getting into sports broadcasting and sports media, and I do it for my own team, and then I have to be honest, and I have to be like, oh, I like him though. But I got to be more honest. That's what DCTV is. I'm the most honest Bengals media person there is on the internet. I can promise you that 110%. Also the best quality-wise, but nonetheless, I got to be honest. And man, it was just a toxic-ass year. Excuse my language. A toxic-ass year last year for AJ Green. The whole season was just a butt wipe, man. I mean, he didn't want to be a Bengal last season. It was very clear and obvious. And anyone trying to defend him, it was very clear that he did not want to be a Bengal last year. He didn't want to get signed to the, it started all the way, the day that the Bengals tagged him and didn't give him a contract, he didn't want to be a Bengal. And it showed the entire seasons. Nonetheless, he is the best, besides Chad Johnson, receiver for the Bengals of all time. He's one of my favorite of all time, but it was an honor to be able to grow up watching him the past decade. But it's good. I called it since week 2. Week 2 or 3, go all the way back to those live streams. I said next season, AJ Green will not be returning. People are like, oh, no way, Bengals will sign him. He'll be a Bengal for the rest of his life. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. All these other social media Bengals people that are all biased about AJ Green. Oh, he's going to be a Bengal for life. Yeah, get out of here, man. I caught it back in week 1. Who's with me? Who can recall that for me? Who can attest to me? I called that back way before anybody was on that. But it's going to happen. He's going to bounce back. This game's the game. This game's the game. He's going to 10 receptions this game. Oh, they play the Ravens this week. He always plays good against the Ravens. Every week I'll say he's going to bounce back this week. Hey, appreciate you, Susan. We played Dalton in Chicago upcoming season. I know. We played Dalton last season in the Cowboys, and now we play him in Chicago. And hey, congrats to the Red Rifle. Get some Red Rifles in the chat. Shout out to Andy Dalton. I could have swore once he left the Cincinnati, he wouldn't see a starting spot for the rest of his career. Soon enough, Dak goes down, Andy starts, and he leaves. He goes to the starting spot in Chicago. And how tough is it to be a Chicago fan? You go from the past few months hearing that Deshaun Watson's going to be your quarterback. Oh, now it's Russell Wilson. And then it's Andy Dalton, man. That is tough to be a Chicago fan right now. But congrats to Andy Dalton, man. The Red Rifle. Miss that guy. I always said he was a better human than he was a player. He was, at best, he was, better than average. Good to great. But he was a great human being. When do the new jerseys come out again? They haven't ever since that leak. They did the jerseys supposedly got leaked on eBay. Don't know if it's real. They haven't confirmed it. They haven't had a date since that's happened. But like I said, as soon as we hit 2K subs, I'll be doing that jersey giveaway of your choice. We should cut Geno Atkins and cap space. We should cut Geno Atkins and Bobby Hart. I agree. Do you think Joe Burrow can start? It says everything I've read so far has said he's going to be ready for week 1. Is Geno a free agent? I've been seeing reports that Bengals could be cutting him. You might be right. Sorry, I'm checking Twitter. If you see me look down, I'm looking at social media, see if I'm missing anything. Oh, let's see. I'm interested. It's interesting that Galladay come to us. Oh, it came to us. Yeah, that is interesting. That's very interesting that him and his agent came to Cincinnati. But I also saw some people talking about. Obviously, this isn't like we don't know if it's true or not. So people said their agent team might do that to kind of start off a bidding war. It's been so slow because the salary cap for the receiver position that they'll get in a team like the Bengals that had a little bit of interest. They knew the Bengals had a little bit of interest. They'll bring them in. So the Giants or the Jets see or whoever the Giants see that the Bengals are in it. We might have to steep up our price because the Bengals, you know what I mean? Kind of like a little bit of a bidding war, even if it's not technically a bidding war. The Giants know, the Bengals, this team, they have interest in them too, so we can't just get them for the low. And I don't know if that's true or not. It's not confirmed, but I thought about it. I was like, man, that would be really smart. Even if he knew in his mind he's not going to Cincinnati, like if he knew in his mind 100%, but to get them in there, to get the media to spice it up a little bit, just like it has #1 trending on Twitter a few hours ago, Galladay. But I mean that would be super smart if his agent did that. But yeah, hopefully that's not the case. But people forgetting how good T Higgins is. 908 yards his rookie year with half the season without Burrow. AJ Palmer, pin it, man, pin it. A great point. What's up, John? How you doing? Got a scholarship from Xavier. Hell yeah. Hey, you already know. Freshman about to be a sophomore at Xavier, baby. Uday 614 Buckeye. Prime AJ or prime Chad? Well, it's tough because when AJ was in his prime, he was the first, second, third best receiver in the league. He was top 3. When Chad was in his prime, he was a top 3 receiver in the league. I don't know. I mean, I obviously got to watch more AJ Green, but personality-wise, Chad, I don't know. Tough. Trubisky is with Buffalo. I saw that. He's going to be a Class A backup. He's probably going to take like a Jameis Winston route. Obviously, Josh Allen isn't going to retire. But, you go to a guy, you sit behind him for a year, you learn, and you possibly go somewhere else the next season. Jameis Winston would have done that, but Drew Brees retired instead, so he got to stay. Andy was solid. It was a great game manager. He's solid. I don't know about the great game manager. There's sometimes the game where instead of making the risky play, he runs out of bounds or throws it out of bounds. He threw the ball out of bounds a lot when it came to like in the game moments. You can't throw it out of bounds. You got to go throw it up. He was solid. I will say that. The Red Rocket was solid. I do believe in the Bengals defensive coordinator. No, I do not like Lou. If you must be new around here because the whole last year, my every game it was hashtag fire Lou, hashtag fire Lou. I have literally zero trust in our defensive coordinator, but hopefully he can change my mind this season. Oh, this is true. So the Bears just released their cornerback Kyle Fuller. Should they be freeing up money for Galladay? Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to check. See if I can find anything. Man, I don't want to get off because I know my freaking luck. I'm going to hop off the live stream, and what's going to happen? As soon as I hop off 5 minutes later, Riley Reef is signing with the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm like, why can't I just been live for this? So I'm going to give it a little bit longer. If you got any questions or anything or any comments, put them in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for me. But I just don't want to get off yet because I know as soon as I get off, it's going to be Bengals are signing Galladay. Like, but yeah, I'll go over my predictions again. I do think Bengals sign Riley Reef. I mean, it's 75-25 to other teams, in my opinion. He is in Cincinnati right now. He was in Paul Brown earlier. Who knows if he's still there? But one thing is that's concerning to me is that it's 8:30 p.m. He was reported to be at Paul Brown hours ago. So he possibly could have left without a deal. He might still be there talking about a deal, hopefully. But it usually would be reported by now. A player doesn't go visit somewhere and hours later, almost a whole day later, it's reported. Sometimes that happens, but a guy that doesn't drop everything he's doing, flying across the country to Cincinnati, goes to Paul Brown and nothing's happened. So I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of thinking that maybe the deal fell through. Because, I mean, it's 8:30 at night. Are they still talking this deal hours in? I don't know. But I still think there's about a 75-25% we get him. When it comes to Galladay, I think there's about a 40%. I think we're down 40-60. Or 40-60, excuse me. I think there's about 40-60 for Galladay. Just because you flip that, and that's what Galladay's doing. He's in New York. He's going to see them first before the Bengals. So, and like I said, I think he's going to get a long-term deal where he wouldn't here, in my opinion. Yes, John, he is very fun to watch. David, we're waiting on that Riley Reef news, man. He's in Cincinnati. So that's the best I can give you. Ricardo Allen rings a bell. I'm sure he's got a foot out the door. Yeah, I'm sure too. You're good. Good day, John. Allen Robinson did say he would sit out. Yeah. There's just a lot of problems in Chicago. I mean, do you want to get thrown the ball at Danny Dimes, Andy Dalton, Joe Burrow? Does that sound a little better? So, I'm really just waiting, guys. Give me some topics. Give me some players. Give me some news to talk about. As I'm sitting here refreshing my page, waiting for some news. As of right now, it's a 3-team chase for Galladay. Bears, Bengals, Giants. Bears, Bengals, Giants for Galladay. So that kind of does scare me even more. If the chance, it might go from the 60-40 to 60 to 30-10. Honestly, you might have gone down to 30%, just because the Bears are releasing star players like Kyle Fuller, a star corner for who? Possibly him. So possibly Galladay. Yeah, that's so funny. I've been talking about on Tate. I just noticed 2 hours ago. Oh, I forgot my camera's right now. 2 hours ago on Twitter, he posted him doing some footwork. I don't know why people were forgetting about On Tate, man. On Tate's going to be a monster this season. Let's go. If they don't get Riley or Galladay, what do you think they will do? If they don't get either of them, I don't think they'll do nothing. I think Paul Brown, this man right here, I don't know if you can see him, back in his coaching days. You can't see it, but that's an old photo of Paul Brown when he coached the Bengals. I think he'll throw in the towel. It's like, oh, we're not going to get him. We're not going to get him. All right, let's go to the draft. Wouldn't be the first time he's done it. I just feel like he gets rejected once. He's like, let's go to the draft. Like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that's what it's going to be like if he can't knock down one of them. You know what I mean? I just have that feeling. I don't know about you. What do you think? Did we sign Ricardo Allen? Not to my knowledge. Allen might have slipped past me. I 50? I don't see nothing, man. I saw he was released for the Falcons. That's all I see. What source said that? A couple sources on NFL pages. This page that has 30,000 followers retweeted it. NFL Rooms. I forget. You can't see it. It's NFL Rooms. They have 29,000 followers. And look, they're not Adam Schefter, but I've been following these guys all last offseason, all this offseason. They're almost like 100% accuracy. Like, they're pretty damn close to spot on. There's been a few of them they've missed, but they've been pretty spot on. I tweeted at him. It says there's a response, but I don't see it when I click on it. Like on Twitter, it shows one response, but I don't see a response. Let's see. Hire Coach Belichick. Belichick, yeah, I wish. Uh, we haven't got any better backup QBs. We're not going to. He has his man. Zach Taylor. I think Allen. I already forgot. You got Finley, then you got Allen. He brought in Allen because he knows his system, so they're not going to bring anybody else in. Yeah, I saw that. Hold on. I think that's Drake. That's Drake, right? Drake, is that you sending me stuff? Sorry, I don't have this contact saved. But yeah, I saw this. This is unconfirmed, but an NFL Talk Sports on Twitter, they're a lot smaller. They only have about 1,000, 2,000 followers. They've been on some stuff, but apparently they're kind of sketchy. But I saw this earlier. They said they signed, or Riley Reef already signed with the Bengals, but I think this is one of those pages where they just give their best guess, a really good educated guesstimate, but it's not like they don't have confirmed signings that they got it. This is just one of those pages they guess it before that happens, and if it does happen, boom, how did you know? So it's definitely not confirmed, but yeah, I did definitely see that earlier. I'll talk about one thing. This isn't Bengals related, but Patrick Peterson to the Minnesota Vikings. That is a hell of a signing. They have one of the youngest secondaries in the NFL and struggled a ton last season. And then you bring in a veteran guy like Patrick Peterson. I don't know how you let Patrick Peterson walk. I was stunned. I mean, I know he's getting older and they signed all these other guys, but I don't know how you let Patrick Peterson walk. I feel like that is a great locker room guy. And I saw this one stat. I mean, listen to this. Patrick Peterson hasn't given up a 100-yard game, like receiving yards against him, since 2015. 5 years. And he's, I think, 29, 30 years old. That is unbelievable. I can't believe they let Patrick Peterson walk. I would have been pissed. Oh, looks like this is falling. I don't even think you guys can see it from the reflection. I just wonder if there's a possibility the Bengals do the same thing last year. They should fire the head coaches and burn down if they don't produce. I think the Bengals have a better record last season just because 75% of the team was capitated with injuries, let alone the signings and people like the signings we got. So I think we'll definitely have a better record. Playoffs, we have the toughest division in football, so we'll have to see. But the coaching, I think, is more of a possibility of a firing than the actual players producing. I'll say it like that. What do you think about that? Glad to see they resigned Brandon Allen to back up Burrow this season. That's what I meant. Yeah, Allen was what I was talking about. You know, he's Zach Taylor's puppet. That's why he's on the team. That's the only reason he got the job, was because Zach Taylor, he knows Zach Taylor's system. Yeah, I know, Jonathan. I know. I know. Galladay, that was crazy on Twitter earlier. Twitter was crazy earlier. I can't believe we were like #1 trending. There was like over 6,000 tweets that one time I checked it, in like a few hour span. Man, I'm not gonna end the stream before 9 o'clock. I know that, because usually when players sign, it's like the hour mark. I'm gonna be really pissed if I end the stream and then 10 minutes later we sign somebody. Sadly, you're probably right, but I did see something about Mike Daniels possibly returning. Yeah, and I'm on his Twitter, and Bengals fans are flooding his comments like, "Hey, come back, man. We need you. We want you." And I'd love to have him back. He seems like a good locker room guy. He's a little bit older. He seems like somebody I'd really want in the locker room, but at that point, he wouldn't be. He'd be down the depth chart, which is okay because we need depth. I think if there's one thing this Bengals organization should have learned last year, besides protect Joe Burrow, would be that you need depth in this league. There's no promise somebody's health. Backup quarterback, backup running back, backup receiver, backup tight end, backup offense, or offensive line. We had all backup of those that had to start games. Backup defensive line. I don't think we had any backup linebackers start. Backup cornerbacks. No backup safeties. There was like a backup kicker, but it wasn't because of injury. And punter, no. Kick returner, no. Punt returner. So those are all the positions we needed. Multiple. 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 or 3 receivers, a tight end, 3 to 5 defensive lineman backups we used, 2 to 4 cornerback backups we use. That is how crazy it is, how important depth is in the National Football League. You need players to go down and still fight for wins. You can't have a player go down and be like, oh, season's over. That really hurt, I can't lie. But my elbow, my desk, but you just like throw it up. Obviously, quarterback is a different position, but other positions, you got to have reliable guys to come in and be there. The anticipation of the O lineman is killing me. Yeah, man. I'm going to be honest. If the Bengals don't make a move on any offensive lineman, you're going to hear a not happy DCTV. Hey, my name's Drew Collins, if you don't know, but you're going to hear a pissed off Drew Collins for the rest of the offseason. Promise you 110%. The Bengals don't make a single move on offensive lineman. Every single live stream I have from here on out, from the entire offseason to day 1 of week 1 of the season, I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, but I'm going to be very straightforward and cut. I already am, but I'm telling you guys right now, if the Bengals don't sign a single offensive lineman, I'm going to be on the, like, if you hear from me, you're going to hear from me. You're going to go to a different media guy in the Cincinnati, like whoever is your other YouTuber, your other TikToker or Instagram or Twitter. I meant Twitter, but like tweeter. Okay, I guess that's plural for Twitter, maybe. I don't know. But you get the point. You're going to go to them. They're going to be all holly golly. Oh, we got this coming up. We got this. And then you're going to come to me. You're going to be like, damn. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm letting you guys know if the Bengals don't sign a single offense lineman, I'm not gonna be happy. I'll just leave it like that. You get the point. What's going on with Reef? He's at Paul Brown Stadium. He's in Cincinnati. We're just we're just waiting on the Woj bomb. Come on, give me a 9 o'clock Woj bomb right here. Riley Reef to the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Oh, I'm gonna post my Instagram story real quick. If you haven't followed me on my Instagram, yo guys, we are still alive, waiting for some Bengals news here in the free agency. Come say what's up. Come talk sports. We're having a good time. What we saying in the chat? What we saying in the chat? This is the coach's year. Yeah, man. I mean, that's something I'm gonna be talking about in some further streams. But this is Zach Taylor's season. I mean, if the Bengals have another bad season, that's the chopping block for Zach Taylor. Obviously, it's hard to say with, with previous coaching. I'll just leave it at that for coaching decades when they probably shouldn't have, like Marvin Lewis. But Marvin Lewis didn't have, 1 win, 2 win, 3 win, 4 win seasons. He had at least 500 seasons that, worse usually. So if this is another season below 500, I think Zach Taylor will be out of here. If not Zach Taylor, if they decide, oh, we're gonna run it back one more year with Zach, we're gonna give him another year. This is the rebuild, the new stripes, whatever. Lou will be gone. Hashtag fire Lou. The defensive coordinator will be out of there. If anything, if they don't fire Zach Taylor, they might demote him to offensive calling only, or they might bring in an offensive caller and he might just be coaching for management. Something will happen. Something will be, juggled around. Either he'll be just head coach and they'll bring in an OC for play calling, they get a new DC, or vice versa. Coaching is going to be huge this season. I mean, this is their jobs right here. This is literally their jobs this season. Players, obviously, they're signed. They got contracts, whatever. They're fighting for new contracts for the future. But, yeah, I mean, this is it for the coaches. If they go probably below 500 or really below 500, this could be it. And the thing that stinks, like, Zach Taylor isn't my favorite, man. But I do respect him, and I do like what he possibly could be going after. I think his press conferences are pretty dry, and a lot of stuff he says, it's just gum. He just says the same thing. He just keeps chewing the same gum. He's saying the same stuff, so it's kind of aggravating a little bit. But he's young. He's inexperienced, but he is with Burrow. How many other quarterbacks do you see in the league just flourish out just in their careers because they are surrounded by so many quarterbacks? Baker Mayfield, that poor guy has had 4 or 5 different quarterbacks in 4 and 5 seasons. You look at Sam Darnold. You look at all these guys. This is not even recent, just in all of NFL years. Usually quarterbacks that have multiple coaches in their first 5 seasons don't plan out to be as good as they could be because they have to learn system after system, coach after coach, usually rosters that are pretty poor, if not, moderate. So I don't want to get into that situation where we fire Zach Taylor, we get a new system, a new coach, Burrow has to relearn that, a new locker room, go through the whole process again. It's so tiring, and it's very, very risky. But at the same time, if Zach Taylor's not the guy, Zach Taylor's not the guy. You know what I mean? So I think the argument goes both ways, is what I'm trying to say. What are your guys' feelings on that? Do you guys think Zach Taylor has another 2 years? Do you think this could be his last year? Coordinators, what do you guys think about that? That's not my professor. That's someone in the class. But that's funny. What's up, Isaac? Shouldn't you be worrying about computer class? Hey, man, I'm caught up in computer science right now. I was like, there's no way one of my professors are actually in here. But nah, mama, that's just Isaac. That's funny. Hey, Isaac, man, if you're in here, man, you're going to be calling me out about computer science, but you ain't never helped me when I asked for your help, man. What's that all about? Come on, Isaac. Don't call me out. I'm playing, man. How you doing, Isaac? Zach shouldn't be calling anything. Well, I mean, my expression on that would be like he's had his moments. There's been some play calls I'm like, damn, like Zach Taylor can call some plays. And then there's also other times where I'm like, what is he doing? Like he is the most inconsistent caller maybe I've seen in a while. Like, I mean, there are some games where he's called great games. There was about 2 to 3 games last season where he almost had perfect calling games. I mean, win or loss, he had he called good plays. And then there's some games where it's like, dude, come on, man. 3 screens in a row, runs up the gut to nowhere. I mean, just bad play calls back to back. So I don't know. I think Zach Taylor, being as young as he is, the ceiling is a lot higher than a lot of other coaches. You know what I mean? So we need Eric Bieniemy. Man, I was on that week 10, week 13, week 15, end of the season, mid to end of the season. I was Eric Bieniemy, fire Zach Taylor, Eric Bieniemy. I was on that. And look at Eric Bieniemy. He doesn't have a job. That blows my mind. I cannot believe all the organizations that got all of these other coaches over Eric Bieniemy. That blows my mind. I mean, Eric Bieniemy was the most talked about, I don't know, coach, assistant coach. I mean, he was more talked about than majority of the league players. I mean, you didn't hear about, oh, this free agency with Galladay is going to be awesome. You heard Eric Bieniemy. Who's going to get Eric Bieniemy? I mean, everyone wants him. And then here we are, and he's nowhere. I can't believe that. I would have never guessed that. If I put money, I would put my whole house on Eric Bieniemy being the first coach signed. But boy, was I wrong. I can't tolerate watching Zach Taylor's press conferences. Yeah, I watched every single one. I know, Shaw, you were in here for the games. Every single game I turned on the press conference, I was just like, man. He said some good stuff, though. A lot of stuff is just the same. Wish we could have got Urban Meyer. I mean, Urban Meyer, obviously, he's a GOAT, man, in college, but the NFL is a totally different experience. I mean, the great coach right now at Alabama, Nick Saban, he's coached in the NFL, and he was terrible. So, but then he goes to college, and he's the best college coach of all time. Like, what? So, I don't know. I like Urban Meyer, and what he's done in Jacksonville so far this offseason, boy, I'm a fan of. I am a fan of what he's doing over in Jacksonville, and then they're going to end up drafting, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. I think Jacksonville is a good place to be right now. Honestly, any Florida team, you go to Tampa or Jacksonville, futures are bright. I mean, they could, Tampa could go back to back, and Jacksonville's getting a one in the decade player at quarterback. I mean, Florida sports right now are very, very vibrant. Heard KG has allowed his Giants meet to go overnight, and is this a bad thing? There's already a lock, or should we have hope? I think I think you should still have hope, but I think, I think the writing's on the wall right there. You know what I mean? I think Mike Brown puts up with too much. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of discrepancy with Mike Brown. Obviously, I've had some of my own. Who am I to say? But you also have players like AJ Green, where in part of his goodbye speech or goodbye saying on social media, he's thanking Mike Brown. He's like, Mr. Mike, or he's like, Mike Brown is the most misunderstood person in the world, and I really like him. And he said all that. I mean, go back to AJ Green said it. So, did he say that because he paid him millions and millions and millions of dollars? Or is he saying that just out of respect? Who knows? But, you got both sides. You know what I mean? You got the fans' opinions, and you got players who are getting paid by the man. That's their boss. So, you know what I mean? I honestly don't know, but the coaching staff. LT, I didn't even know you were in here still. What is up, LT? How you doing? We got to catch up. Yo, shout out to LT. She was LT and Drake. Man, you guys really helped me this last season. I want to shout out to you guys. I mean, you guys are a big part of the reason why we're almost at 2K subs. And the Discord. Yo, the Discord. We're about to have 100 plus people this season. Starting this season, we're going to have over 100 people in the Discord. It's going to be fun. Yo, if you guys are not in the Discord, you got to get in that. Link in the description. This will be last year if we don't make the... This will be his last year if we don't make the playoffs, you think? I think Lou will make a break this year. I think Zach has 2 years. Okay, I agree with that. Possibly. Hey, Isaac, I'm struggling too, man. Link up with me. Hit me up on Snapchat, Isaac. It's totally unrelated. We're literally talking about class. Isaac, hit me up on Snapchat, bro. We can try to work together. I know your roomie is also in the class or whatever, so hit me up. We can help each other out. Have you heard anything about Reef or Galladay? Galladay is currently meeting with the Giants, and Reef has met with the Bengals today in Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium. That is what we're at right now. That is where we are at. Another rumor. A rumor with no sources. Ravens might be looking at trading for Allen Robinson with Orlando Brown. Just a rumor for now. So, and it looks like Allen Robinson, with all that going on, just accepted his franchise tag, $18 million. Youch. What we saying? No, be enemy. Yeah, I know. I don't know if he visited New York today or if he's visiting tomorrow. I just know he has a scheduled visit before he visits with Cincinnati. This is Zach gonna get beat up if he don't get some linemen. Mike Brown might get beat up too, huh? More like Burrow will? Yeah. The guy they drafted to be the Lord and Savior to save the organization will. And then they're going to look like the clown. He will come to us on a 1-year deal. Hey, I agree with you, Chris. I've been preaching that the past 2 hours I've been live. I've said the same thing. Right, like Zach got a head coaching job because of Jared Goff's play, and Bieniemy can't get a head coaching job gig with Dolphin Sign's little cheat code. Yeah, you're going somewhere with that, David. Shout out Donovan. Appreciate you, man. People have been making it seem like Galladay prefers the Giants. Yeah, it does seem like it's been coming off that way. I agree with you on that. Uday John. If Sewell is gone, do we take Pitts? I've seen a lot about that Slater. I don't know his first name. I know his last name is Slater. I've seen a lot about him lately, moving up in the draft boards. He's still taking offensive lineman, in my opinion. I like Pitts a lot. He is a generationally talent. You don't see tight ends like him come in the draft very often. You just drafted Drew Sample in the 2nd round, I think 3 years ago, and he is a bust. Yeah, CJ Uzama coming back off an injury, who's going to be a starter. It's a need. A tight end is a need for the future. I do agree with that, but it's not more of a need than our offensive line, especially if we're not going to sign anybody. So I just can't no matter how good Pitts is, I can't pick him over an offensive lineman just because he won't be blocking for Joe Burrow. I mean, yes, he'll be blocking, but he won't be an offensive lineman. You know what I mean? But I do love Pitts. I think Pitts is a phenomenal player. And I think he will translate to a very great game in the NFL. So I know a lot of people will say Pitts. We got to protect Burrow. And, if the Bengals sign 2 offensive linemen, okay, let's get Pitts. You know what I mean? Like, I would then be on the Pitts train. If we sign Reef, we sign Spain back, and we signed another guard, and we're pretty freaking solid, and then maybe in the 2nd round we draft a lineman. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. So actually, yeah, Pat Leonard, who's verified on Twitter, Kenny Galladay's free agent visit with the Jets will be starting this evening and will continue into tomorrow. Per source, sleep well, Giants fans. Ah, I can confirm that. So no signing yet, but it looks like there's an evening. I mean, you don't see that very often, so that's not looking good. Another thing is, where do you guys think Richard Sherman will end up? I know he's at the later part of his career, but could be a good veteran presence. So sorry, I'm just tweeting right now. That's probably pretty annoying. You guys just see me look down. All right, what are we saying? So what do we think about that? Can't wait to the season. Yep. Shout out LT. Press that link. Join the Discord. Group chat over 100 plus Bengals fans talking Bengals football, baby. Totally free. Maybe Reef declined since Brown forces players to buy it. Is that true or is that stereotypical? I don't know. That's pretty funny though. Got to sign 2 offensive linemen at least. I mean, we're looking at one right now. I mean, we have one at Paul Brown Stadium today, and we still haven't signed him. How? I don't know. How could you bring this guy to Paul Brown Stadium hours ago, and you still have no contract? Stressing me out. Can somebody give me some courage and hope in the comment section? I'm stressed out right now. Anxiety's through the roof. Come on, can we just get this Riley Reef news, please? Please. Come on. Uh. Okay, this is breaking news too, kind of. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says the league will work with networks to incorporate legalized sports gambling in the TV deals. But I wonder how that's going to work with the states that are that don't have it. What's the word? That don't have it legalized. Like only certain states across the country allow sports gambling. Kentucky and Ohio, neither of them but Indiana does. So I wonder how that's going to work from state to state. Interesting. What we saying? What we saying? Rashawn Slater, yeah. Lyman, are we all boycott? With Galladay, Chicago's a team I've heard some rumors about. Keep in mind, he is from Chicago, according to Google. Didn't know that. So. Hope the Bengals get some good offense linemen, protect Joe Burrow. Don't end up like Andrew Luck. What do you think? I don't think Andrew Luck necessarily, because that's something rare and that's never been seen before, kind of. In his situation, be top of the league, to be the best, and just give up. But you got to protect Burrow. There's no question about it. I think it was Dalton. Or maybe AJ. What do you think about them signing P. Ryan and Mike Thomas? I think it's fine. You know, they're both cheap deals. probably veteran minimals or just minimal contracts. With Mixon's injury concerns last season, you got Bernard, but you want to have that third guy, and that's Pirine. So I don't mind it. I mean, if you don't resign him, you just draft somebody else on their rookie contract. And then Mike Thomas, with receiver being such a question mark right now with Galladay and other, draftees possibly if they're going to draft anybody mid to late. I think it's fine. You know, receiver is still pretty thick for us, but you got to have extra guys. And like I just talked about earlier, I think if there's one thing the Bengals learned last season, it would be that you got to be deep in every position. Because you don't know who's going to get hurt, when they're going to get hurt, how they're going to get hurt. You just know somebody's going to get hurt. Like, it just happens. It's football. So, I think it's whatever. What about Hendrickson? I already talked about Hendrickson earlier in the live stream, so if you want to go back, it was towards the beginning, but what do you mean? The whole thing? I just talked about how it was kind of some people were on ledge about he got paid nearly identical to Carl Lawson, but then we let Lawson go, and then bring in this guy. Compared them a little bit, around the same age. He's had 13 and a half sacks compared to Lawson's 5 sacks, but Lawson was second in the league on pass rush or QB rushes or whatever, and then he wasn't as high. We kind of talked about it both, but he's a Bengal. That's all that matters. Braden, how much longer are you going to be live? I don't know. I mean, I'm just waiting for I'm not going to be live all night because this is my first live back in over 2 months, so I'm a little more tired than I would be. When I was streaming, when I was doing a play-by-plays for those NFL games, my streams were anywhere from 3 to 5.5 hours. I mean, go back, click on my page, and look at my other streams. I mean, 3.5 hours, 4 hours, like 4.5. Like, those streams were long, and I was just used to it. It was every single week. Been about 8 weeks since I've had one, so I'm a little tired. But I'm going to give it a little bit longer. I'm going to see if we can get a Riley Reef signee. I guess Galladay looks like it won't be happening tonight with the Bengals. Seems like if Galladay signs tonight, it's not going to be good news. It's going to be with the Giants. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Let's get to 50 likes. I'd really appreciate it. And hit that sub button. Once again, once we hit 2K subs, I'll be doing a giveaway of the new Bengals new stripes. Appreciate the love and the support, DCTV family. What about Kenny Galladay? Galladay is having an evening stay with the Giants, him and his agent. I'll pull it up again real quick. Hold on. And it's a legit source. It's Pat Leonard is his name. Let me see his position. NFL Giants beat writer and beat writer for New York sports. 30,000 followers verified. And he tweeted Kenny Galladay's free agent visit with the Giants will be starting this evening, so hasn't even started yet, and will continue into tomorrow. So looks like overnight there might be a Kenny Galladay deal. So, but if Galladay doesn't sign anywhere tonight, chances tomorrow. Life of a Bengals fan. Can I get a hooday in the chat, please? Come on, man. Man, I thought we would have somebody signed by now. I'm kind of sick. I waited to do. Well, if you're new around here, welcome. It's been 2 months that I've been back, but my schedule's gonna be Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna shoot for around 7 o'clock, either live stream or video. That's what I'm shooting for, and then periodically I would do some live streams on other days if I'm free. I'm a college student right now, so I'm pretty busy. That's why I kind of took my break. That was part of it. But so I'm gonna try to be on some of the news. I know I say that, but then yesterday we signed like 4 players, and I didn't make any videos. But I wanted to wait till today because I thought we would sign somebody during these later hours. Considering Riley Reef was literally in Paul Brown Stadium today, but you know, here I am. So, Bengal Jim's BTR said he possibly thinks that why it's taking so long, the Riley Reef signing, is because maybe they took him to dinner. Jeff Ruby's Skyline. Maybe that's why it's taking so long. Maybe they're gonna talk it over at dinner or celebrating at dinner before they announce it. Before they tell Schefter to announce it. But let's hope that they have the contract signed. They left it in PBS, Paul Brown Stadium. They're going to dinner, enjoy a little dinner, relax. They're gonna come back, text Adam Schefter, hey, contracts, yada yada yada, and then hopefully that's what we're waiting for. But once again, I do repeat, DCTV will be full of not negativity but anger if we do not sign a single offensive lineman. And I'm waiting on Quentin Spain. Like I can't believe we haven't re-signed him. Which I guess I kind of can because it makes sense. Like, he's weighing out his options. He shouldn't be tied down to Cincinnati considering he only played there for 2 months. Weighing down his options, see if he gets any offers, maybe no offers, then comes back to Cincinnati. So I mean, I guess it makes a little sense. I'm assuming this NFL rumor page isn't responding to me because they don't know the answer and they don't want to say something they don't know. Because I've tweeted at this page multiple times before about Bengals questions and they have answered them. Um, I just really think they're not. I added them and asked them, thanks for all the great updates, but anywhere on the Reef to the Bengals situation. And they haven't answered. I'm assuming it's because they don't know. Because pages like this that aren't verified but have 29,000 followers, they don't say information they don't think is true or they don't know unless they say like, oh, this is just a rumor, no sources, which they do say quite often. So I'm assuming it's because they just don't know. Because I've tweeted at them multiple times and they've answered a lot of them with good answers. But I mean that's the only way because they were responding to other people and they've responded to me before. So Uday Lando, what's up? What's up? Bengals need a kicker. They have a kicker. They have Saber or Cyber. I think it might have been a 1-year deal, so maybe they have to resign him. Maybe they already did. He was the Browns kicker that kind of shared it with Bullock at the end of the season. I think they'll sign somebody after the draft. Like usually these kickers will go undrafted, UDFA, and then they'll sign the UDFA, which is usually a kicker. How do you have the new stripes? I don't have the new stripes, but the whole point of the jersey giveaway is I'll buy the new jersey when it releases, and I'll do a giveaway for my subscribers. Anybody watching the NCAA first 4 games? I know my dad is downstairs for a fact because I was going to watch them with him, assuming that I get off the stream at a good time, but here I am. What's up, guys? Show me support. Hit that like or hit the like button since I'm here. What are we, about 2 hours in? What's the scores? Uh, Yo, this is Cincinnati sports news. Any UC oh, sorry about that. Any UC fans? Six players have entered the transfer portal. College basketball, not football, college basketball. Six players, six. Something is going on in that locker room. The coach, assistant coach, the athletic director. There is something going on in that UC department, and they are kicking it under the rug. That is so rare that six players in one offseason of college basketball leave. Ridiculous. I don't know how that story is not national news. Probably because it's UC basketball and just college sports in general. But I don't know how that's not making national headlines. Six players, and I think it was 1 or 2 weeks, all announced that they're leaving UC. And then if you're a Xavier fan, let's go X. 2 players have entered the transfer portal, which you usually see. You usually see 1, 2, maybe rarely 3, 6 for UC basketball. So I don't know if anyone's been in any NCAA basketball people in here, but that blows my mind. I don't know what's going on, but there's something they're kicking under the rug. Beer belly, Bulacek. Yep, or Bullock. I said Bulacek. Belichick. Oh, I'm tired. But yes, we're gonna miss Beer Belly. Tom Pelissero now says the Giants are signing linebacker Reggie Ragland to a 1-year deal. Not too sure who that is, but that's not a good sign. The Giants are signing people now, and then they also just said the Giants are having an evening meeting with Kenny Golladay, and now they're signing other players. Not a good sign. Uh, Fat Randy. Yeah, I think majority of people called him Fat Randy. I mean, if you were a subscriber back in the last season when I was doing my play-by-plays, you saw me put on this helmet, enraged of the missed kicks, especially the ones that were game-winning or game-tying. You can go back and watch those clips if you like, but we had some fun with Fat Randy this season. And when he was up to kick in important moments, it was a fingernail biter every time on the live stream. Because it's play-by-play, they can't see the TV, or unless you want to watch TV, so they hear me broadcast. I'm like, they're like, did he make it? Did he make it? Did he make it? I'm sitting here like, no. Or he made it. He actually made it. So that was fun. When you search up Riley Reef, it says he's currently on the Bengals. What overview? Like Safari, like Wikipedia? Or Wikipedia? I said that weird. Or like Google or like ESPN? Because people can easily like hack like those websites and type in stuff. It's been done before. I'm the only one to call him butter shoes. Yeah, I know Shaw wasn't a big fan. Or Shaw. Ah. Storm PBS if no lineman. LOL. I'm in. Give me 15, 20 minutes and I'll be there. It does say the Bengals when you Google him. But let me test this out. Riley Reef is an American football offensive tackle currently on the Cincinnati Bengals. Somebody had to hack and change that or something. Because it's not confirmed. Yo, go follow me on Twitter. I'm going to screenshot that and post it. Hold on. Go follow me on Twitter and like it. Hold on. What? That someone had to hack it or something. Like someone had to do something to type into Google. There's no way without announcing it. About to tweet it right now. So 12 hours ago, or 12 hours ago, Drew Garrison tweeted, "The Bengals were to sign Riley Reef and Galladay. I can almost guarantee Kyle Pitts at 5." That makes sense. It would make sense for sure, but that's if and as of right now. You were just watching that video. That's funny. Hey, come on, Drake. I know you got. Drake. I know you got the personnel to talk to. Everyone tell Drake to hit that to talk to that person that he knows inside the PBS and let us know what's going on. Is there a confirmed sighting? Can we announce it live here on DCTV? Is there a confirmed sighting on Riley Reef and PBS today? We did not get Galladay yet. Right now he is having an evening stay, him and his agent, with the New York Giants. So get ready for the next couple hours of our night. If he signs, he'll be with the Giants. On Reef's PFF's profile says on the Bengals, bro, someone hacked in the websites, like coding and stuff. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was already confirmed about Riley Reef too. Go like my tweet. Go like my tweet. What the hell? That's crazy. Will Fuller will get 10 million fully guaranteed with the Dolphins. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Even the Cincinnati Reds Twitter social media account even used the hashtag Galladay. That's pretty neat. If you don't know what we're talking about, Galladay, I mean, you must be living on a rock because Galladay was trending #1 nationwide earlier on Twitter, which is like really hard to do. And even the Cincinnati Reds page did it. It's pretty unique. So I mean, you got to think if Will Fuller gets a 1 year, $10 million fully guaranteed deal, Galladay is going to be north of that. I don't know about fully guaranteed, but you got to think he's in New York right now. Like, this is New York, not Miami. I know you guys got money. I know you need a receiver to help out your quarterback who is dying off in the NFL. He just got 10 million guaranteed on a 1 year prove it deal. I went 3 years, 13 million guaranteed per year. Like, that's what he's doing right now in his evening stay in New York. Come on. March Madness. I gotta check my bracket. Is this NIT? Oh, you see it. Check my bracket. Who'd you guys have in winning it all for March Madness? You guys have any upsets? I know I had a bunch of upsets on my bracket this year. Uh, uh, Not yet 619 Bengals fan. Waiting. Dude, I don't know if I can wait much longer. This is getting ridiculous. Come on, man. Yo, you guys see this photo of AJ Green, though? Looks quite weird in red. Oh, besides orange, huh? What do we think about that? A little different. Man, I know I'm talking into existence. I already know what's gonna happen. I've been live for over 2 hours. I'm gonna hop off. 15 minutes later, Riley Reef signing a 1-year deal contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm gonna be like, bro, it's just live. Ah. You know what I might do? I'm gonna give it after about 9:30 to 9:45 range. 9:30, 9:45 range. If there's no announcement, I'm gonna end this stream, and I'm gonna have another stream set. And it's, well, you know what it's gonna say? It's gonna say Riley Reef signs with the Cincinnati Bengals. And if it happens, I'll go live again. I don't care if it's 5 minutes after I get off, if it's an hour after I get off. If it happens tonight, but I'm awake, or if it happens tomorrow, tomorrow I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be on campus at Xavier. So that's the thing that kind of sucks about tomorrow. That's why I want to have it tonight, because if it happens tomorrow, I probably won't be able to hop on the live because I'm gonna be on campus at Xavier, not in my studio. But what I'll do is I'll give it another 10, 15 minutes. If we don't sign him by then I'll get off, but I'll have another stream ready, loaded, saying, whatever's going on. Riley Reef to the Bengals. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button. We're on hashtag road to 2K. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to get a little luck in there, hit that like button too. And as always, get active in that comment section. That's what it's there for. That's fun. Gonzaga winning it all. I have Ohio making it to Sweet 16, the only big Cinderella story I have. I have Gonzaga losing because they choke every year. I don't know why Gonzaga is so hyped up this year. Well, it's because they didn't lose a game, but they're hyped up every season with a really good record, like less than 5 losses, and they lose by like the Sweet 16. So I have them losing. And then I have Ohio on some upsets too, because Ohio is like 9-1 or 8-2 going into the March Madness. So the Bengals, the Bengals are going to be a whole different team if they get some protection. Yep. We got you. A 4-year deal? I don't know. Riley Reef, I think, is 30 or 31. So I would bring him to 35. I don't know about a 4-year deal. Maybe like 2 or 3 max for me. I mean, maybe if you're talking about Galladay, but even Galladay, I don't think he would sign a long-term deal because of the salary cap. Where did they take Burrows to dinner? I don't know. I mean, he's an Ohio guy, so probably some Ohio restaurant. Come on. Dolphins signed Matt Sciorra, center, 1.75 million. Don't know how good he is, but for 1.75 million, Bengals could probably use that on the offensive line. NFL rumors says Raiders defensive back LaMarcus Joyner is expected to sign with the Jets. Sources say per Ian Rappaport. Looks like LaMarcus Joyner will be joining the Jets. That's funny. He's already on the roster on PFF, PPF, and then Google. Who did that? Who got our hopes up? Who got our hopes up? Whoever somehow got into the coding of the website and changed his roster spot to the Bengals on all these websites. And if he ends up going to a different team, you should be arrested. This year's team is beyond stacked. I don't know about stacked. I mean, we don't have much more players that we didn't have last season. Like, you could say our team last year was stacked because we've only filled spots that we've lost. Carl Lawson left, we filled his spot. Mackenzie Alexander left, we filled his spot. William Jackson left, we filled his spot. Added on, like, these players might be a little bit better. I mean, I wouldn't say we're stacked. And personally, I wouldn't. I mean, we failed to sign any players to protect Burrow. How are we stacked? Our offensive line's terrible. Now, I will say one thing that's going to be different than last year is that our players are going to be healthy. You know, we didn't have Joe Mixon. We're going to have Joe Mixon. We have Joe Burrow. We're going to have Joe Burrow. We missed Alden Tate. We get Alden Tate back. We missed our cornerback number 1 in Trey Waynes. We get Trey Waynes. You know, DJ Reader was out. We get DJ Reader back. He's going to be our defensive tackle number 1. So, excuse me, like I would say we're more beneficial in our positions like that because of injuries, but I wouldn't say like we're night and day better. At least as of right now. You sign Galladay, you sign Reef, you start signing some of these guys. I still wouldn't say we're stacked, but I'd say we've made some progress. Yeah, Riley Reef is 32. I knew he was in his 30s. If we get the Oregon lineman plus we run Joe Mixon so the wheels go fall off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how heavy we're going to be running the ball because even when Mixon was healthy, I mean, we weren't running the ball that much. Even Joe Burrow's first snaps in the NFL, Zach Taylor was like pass, 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 run, pass, 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 run, pass, 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 run, run, pass, 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 pass. Like he was very heavy on the aerial attack. Now, a lot of those passes were going to Mixon. You know, he was still getting it to his running back. But I think he showed pretty heavy that this is going to be a pass-first offense. And, this isn't the Minnesota Vikings. We don't have Dalvin Cook. We don't have a Dalvin Cook first offense. You know what I mean? But it will be nice to see Mixon get going again. And that's going to take so much pressure off Burrow's hands. I mean, Bernard did the best he could in the time, he managed. But, especially in his veteran role. But it's nothing like Mixon. Let's be honest. Matt Sciorra's terrible. Okay. Corey Davis, Carl Lawson Joyner. Jets are trying. Problem is, Jets just have a lot of spots to fill. You can get 2 to 3, star to like excellent to star players, but what about the rest of the roster? AJ Green will be in the playoffs this season. I agree with that. I like the Cardinals. I've liked the organization of the Cardinals for a while. I think they're extremely underrated organization. They were just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago against Steelers. Larry Fitzgerald and Carson Palmer and all those older quarterbacks they've had. But I like that organization. I'm happy that AJ went to an organization like that. Not like the rumors of him going to the Baltimore Ravens. Would have had to play him twice a year. That wouldn't have been fun. I'm actually enjoying that he went to like the Cardinals. And the Cardinals have bought in this season. They've been huge buyers. So yeah, I really like the Cardinals and what they're doing over there. Getting a lot of veterans surrounding their young guys. I think Kyler Murray is amazing. I'm a huge fan of him. He is just. There's only a handful of players in this league like that outside the Bengals I watch. Obviously, I watch a ton of NFL football. I watch way more than I should. But there's like a handful of players where like I strictly only watch that game for that player. Like growing up, it was the Vikings because who? Adrian Peterson, one of my favorite players of all time. It's Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, majority quarterbacks, but some running backs too. The Titans because of Derrick Henry. Back in the day, it used to be the Texans for J.J. Watt. Now it was like Deshaun Watson, but you still didn't really want to watch them because they stink. You know what I mean? Like there's only a handful of players where you will watch that game just because he is so entertaining, and that's Kyler Murray. So I think they'll do some cool things over there in Arizona. They're just in a tough division because the run blocking was bad. The run blocking was just as bad as the pass blocking. I know everyone talks about protecting Burrow, which is obvious, and I talk about it all the time. I talk about it all the time. But like the run blocking was just as bad. The run blocking was terrible, especially when Mixon. Before we got Quentin Spain and Mixon was playing, oh, it was god awful. Quentin Spain helped that run block a lot. Go back and watch tape when we got Quentin Spain, how often we ran the ball up his side. Quentin Spain improved the run game by a ton. That's why I want Quentin Spain back. Can we make any type of signing for some like offensive lineman? Like this obviously are the problem. Why aren't we making moves? Tyler, man, that's what we've been talking about for the past 2 to 3 hours. Like the rushing was so bad, they would hand the ball off, and Joe Mixon, when he was healthy, would have to jet strictly to the sideline because there's 3 or 4 defensive players in the backfield. He got tackled before the ball was in his gut. So instead of going vertical, he had to go horizontal to go vertical. That's why when he played, he wasn't really even productive this season. Not because of him, but because the offensive line was so damn bad. So that's what I'm talking about. Like we can sign all the receivers, we can draft all the tight ends, we could do all that, but if we don't get an offensive line, we're not going to be running the ball, and we're going to have to throw the ball under 2 to 3 seconds every single play. Go draft Pitts over offensive linemen. Go sign all these players over offensive linemen. But guess what? Joe Burrow might get hurt again, or he's going to have to get the ball out under 3 seconds, and the rushing attack is going to be terrible, not because of Joe Mixon, but because the offensive line. And you don't want that because you already paid your running back. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be different if Mixon wasn't already paid, but we're one of the teams in the league that played a running back money. Not a lot of teams in the league pay their running backs money. Well, we did, and that money's simply going to go to waste if we can't help him move our blockers forward down the field. If they're staying there in place or getting moved back, or they look behind and they got a defender going past them, well, what's the point of paying Mixon? You know what I mean? Absolutely no reason to pay Mixon if you can't get an offensive line for him. I said it all last season. When he was healthy, people were talking about, oh, Mixon stinks. Why? This was a thing. Before Mixon got hurt, I remember being on Twitter after games And I see all these Bengals fans, oh, Mixon's washed. We paid him all this money for him to do this. No production. He runs sideline to sideline. He can't find a hole to save his life. He's picking the wrong holes. Like, are you watching the game in detail? Watch the offensive line, man. They get pushed back 10 yards behind scrimmage before he gets the ball. Or he has to juke out sideline to sideline because the blocking was terrible. So you can say all you want for Kyle Pitts and all these other guys, but if we don't sign some offensive linemen, man, I don't know what to say. And I feel like people that might be on Twitter or something, like, might see my account, it might be like, oh my God, this kid, all he does is talk crap about the offensive line, or he's no positive, or he's so negative Nancy, or whatever. But it's like, dude, I'm just being truthful. We're going to get a repeat of last year, or we're going to get the repeat of the entire season if we repeat with the same offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, how could you expect more to copy and paste the same offensive line over? It don't matter what corners you sign, what defensive linemen you sign. What are we doing for Burrow here? Isn't the big picture right here Joe Burrow? I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Shout out to all the people following me on Twitter. I know my followers have gone up since the beginning of the stream, so I know you guys are following me on my Twitter. Shout out to all you guys. Let's see. Bengals need linebackers so bad. I wouldn't say so bad because we just drafted a bunch of linebackers. Our linebackers are all 25 years and younger. Could we bring in a veteran? Yeah, I said that before the offseason started. Did we do that? No. Could we draft a few more? Yeah, but our linebackers are just young. I mean, they're all drafted. You know, Logan Wilson, young. All the outside linebackers, young. Our whole linebacking core is super young and green. So I would say we need to keep hammering the defensive line and the offensive line before the linebackers. Although, because they're so young, yes, we could get some improvement. But you got to expect that with all the rookies. I could see us running a 4-3. Hubbard, Reeder, Angun, Joby, Hendrickson as a D-line, Wilson, Pratt, ADG, Bailey, linebacker. I mean, but look at those linebackers. Like Wilson, young. Pratt, how old is Pratt? I thought he was like mid-20s. Jermaine Pratt age. Yeah, 24. So Jermaine Pratt, young. Adeem Kavis Gathers, he was a rookie. Bailey, 7th round pick, rookie. So I mean, all those linebackers are young. You got to give them time to develop. John Lee's my respect for still streaming. Appreciate you, John. You want to show me some love? Just hit that sub button, hit that like button for me. But I don't know how much longer I'm going, man. This is really making me frustrated that we haven't announced anything yet. So, okay, we actually just got an update for the situation. So somebody tweeted at Paul Denner Jr., who is a senior writer and podcast host covering the Bengals and a writer for The Athletic and NFL, 36,000 followers verified. And somebody basically tweeted him saying, any update on Reef? Is he still in Cincinnati on his visit? His answer was, Reef is still in Cincinnati on his visit. Not sure how long it will drag on. May go into tomorrow. Depends on how it's all going. We wait. Oh, the most the most liked comment under his like tweet was, is Mike Brown showing him the dinosaur fossil collection? Hey, shout out Drake. Hold on, let me turn this up.
Good young boy.
First donation in 2 months since I've been back on the stream. Shout out Drake. We got Drake Jordan, the most recent subscriber, and Drake Berry, the most recent donator. Shout out to you, Drake. I agree. Let's get O-line. LBs are young. Gotta let them grow. But yeah, back to what I was saying. That is Mike Brown showing the dinosaur fossil collection. That is hilarious. But yeah, that is good news. So we got some news spicing up. Well, I'll tell you right now, I won't be live until tomorrow because I got to go to class in the morning. But sounds like we might hear some Galladay news tonight for the Giants, and then some news for the Bengals. And then some more news. Finally, something's popping off. Uh, I don't see it in a tweet, but somehow they're saying Burrow is trying to recruit Galladay. I'm hearing that it says Rappaport said something, but I don't see what Rappaport said. It said Burrow talked to Galladay, but I don't know if that's true. But somehow, some way, Burrow is recruiting Galladay. Not sure how though, because if I look at Burrow, he hasn't tweeted anything, and I didn't see Rappaport say anything. Hmm. So what are our thoughts on that? Sorry, I'm just trying to stay up to date on Twitter. If you see me looking down, looking at my phone. There's always a draft. Yeah, but the problem is we need a guard and a tackle. Father Chad said he was DMing Kenny G. Yeah, I saw Chad on Twitter was pretty active today for Riley and Galladay. So shout out to Chad doing his damn thing. Let's see. In-law. As straight up you are correct. What's up, Trevor? Reggie Harper said, I don't think we're getting Kenny, and I'm cool. We got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Alden Tate, 3 solid receivers. At least we're putting up a fight. Yeah, he's definitely not a need, but it'd be nice to have. You know what is a need is an offensive lineman. All right, well, we got 60 people in here live right now. So if you're in here, smash that like button, hit that sub button. We're about to hit 1,900 subs. That means we're 100 subs away from 2,000 subs. When we hit 2,000 subs, I will be doing a jersey giveaway of the new jerseys that just released. Well, I guess they're not released yet, but you know what I mean. They're about to come out, the new jerseys this season. So hit that sub button. What do we think in the chat? And get active in the chat. What are we hearing? What are we seeing? What are we thinking? Oh, one thing I want to talk about real quick is the Kyle Van Noy situation. Crazy. That he goes to the Dolphins, has a great season. Dolphins release him out of nowhere after signing like a 4-year deal, like $13-20 million guaranteed, something like that. Still release him, and then he goes back to New England with Belichick. That's crazy. I couldn't believe that. Oh, so it was on Good Morning Football. So it was Rappaport. I saw that it was Rappaport, so that's cool. Burrow talked to Galladay. And as he should. I mean, do you want Danny Dimes throwing you the ball over Joe freaking Burrow? Be honest. Put it in the chat. Joe Burrow or Danny Dimes? If you were a receiver, who would you rather you throw the ball? Joe Burrow or Danny Dimes? Put it in the chat. I think I already know what I'm putting in the chat. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Give me like 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, it looks like we all got Burrows in the chat as expected. I don't think we expected many or anything else. Danny Dimes can't even run without falling. That's pretty funny. Look, man, I don't want to trash on Danny Dimes because I think he has a future. I know who I'd rather have. Okay. Well, here's my next question. Oops. Sorry about that. Well, I don't want to do it because I already. Would you rather live in New York or would you rather live in Cincinnati? But I mean, I guess most of these guys' mindsets are football first. But Cincinnati or New York? Where would you rather live? What city? If you're watching, drink a gallon a day, a gallon of water a day. Super healthy. New York, Justin Fields isn't that good. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely taking Trevor Lawrence over Justin Fields, personally. But I like Justin Fields. I do like him, I'm going to be honest. I think he's a great prospect. Just Trevor Lawrence has been hyped up since freshman, sophomore year. I mean, our sophomore season, it was like, we wish this kid could enter the draft now. Like, it was even high school. Like, I remember him being big, so crazy. New York. New York. I don't know, man. I want to go down south. If out of college I can graduate and get a job, obviously, if it's not for like the Bengals or Cincinnati network, I want to go south, man. I want to go where it's warm and sunny. I don't want to go up. I don't even want to go up even farther north where it's colder, more snow, more rain. You know what I mean? But New York is a pretty cool city. Burrow and Kenny, basically Burrow had a conversation with Galladay. I don't know if there's something that's been said, what was said, but apparently he just had a conversation with Galladay earlier. Yeah, Florida, Texas, Arizona. Arizona's cool. I just want to be in the South, man. When I graduate from Xavier sports broadcasting, if I'm not working for a Cincinnati network or a network around here or a team around here, I want to go down south, man. I'm about to be a sophomore after the semester, but I know I have like 3 more years to decide, but I don't want to go north. I mean, obviously the Big Apple, it's like biggest city for journalism. That's all cool and all, but I'm not a fan of the cold, man. I don't like the snow. Since New York too expensive. Yeah, man, a house here in New York is like an apartment, like a 1-bedroom apartment. Yo, Drew, you should grow a mini beard. Hey, man, I got the stash coming in right now. I don't know if you guys can see the stash, but as of right now, I'm 19 years old. I'm not the biggest facial hair person right now, but see, the problem is I'm kind of patchy right now. I'm a young kid. I get patches on my neck, but I got the stash, but I'll probably shave it. But see, my dad's a redhead, so I might get a red beard. Off topic, but I'm just saying that because yesterday, St. Patty's Day, I'm Irish, so shout out to all my Irish people out there. Sorry, we're very off topic right now. It's good though when you have a conversation with your community, Bengals community, DCTV family. We can just have an off topic conversation. That's how you guys are doing good. When literally Twitter and all these other websites are falling apart right now with Galladay, Riley Reef. We're here talking about beards. Let's see. Come to South Florida. I was just in Florida about a week ago. I was in Florida. I was in Orlando. Hey, man. I mean, if I did go to Florida, it'd probably be like Tampa, Jacksonville, uh, Orlando. It'd be one of the bigger cities. I would either be working for a team or a network down there. Chad Johnson trying to save the Bengals and get them some players. Yeah, man. Chad's been the GOAT today. I don't know if you guys have been on Twitter, but Chad's been tweeting all day. Riley Reef, Galladay, don't matter. A picture for Twitter. Oh, why is it? uh, Thoughts on the Drew Brees retirement? Uh, yeah, I mean, I can give you some thoughts. Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. That is another player. I'm 19 years old. I grew up watching. I remember watching. My first football memories in my head was when they beat the Vikings in the NFC Championship game somehow, some way. Brett Favre that interception at the end of the game. I remember that like it was yesterday, and I was a kid. So he won the Super Bowl the year after the hurricane. Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, easy, one of the best of all time, and he's one of the players that are shorter, being 6 foot flat, but still being literally one of the best, breaking records, touchdown, passing yards. I mean, the New Orleans Saints are lucky they got a player like that to have for that long. I thought it was about his time. You could tell this season he wasn't the same. His arm wasn't there. He had like 12 broken ribs, and he deflated his lung. I mean, the poor guy just was brittle. And he gave it his all, man. He gave it his all. Lost in the playoffs, but I got a lot of respect for Drew Brees, and I want to, watching him grow up. He is one of the reasons why I got into football. Players like him, him, Adrian Peterson, Chad Ochocinco, guys like that are why people get into football. At least back when I was a kid. So Drew Brees, man, he was a hell of a player. Hawaii college football announcer, that's where it is at. That would be dope. Lived in Arizona, or I don't know how to say that, but Arizona loved it. And Pennsylvania now it sucks. Love to live in Arizona. Hey, AJ Green. Guess he's living right, huh? It's hard to convince players when the Cincinnati Phillies so trash. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's one thing. I'm sure these guys go to Cincinnati and they're getting the door and they're like Paul Brown Stadium, eh. Outdoor practice facility, eh. And they go to the Minnesota Vikings, who go to the brand new U.S. Bank Stadium, newly built. Hell yeah. They go to the practice facility, indoor, brand new, brand spanking new. Like, yeah. I mean, the only other team that I know that has an outdoor practice facility is New England, and that will probably never change as long as Bill Belichick is the coach because he wants them to practice how they would play. Besides that, I don't think anybody else wants that anywhere else. We don't have Bill Belichick coaching the Bengals, so I think that's the problem. Yeah, some facility upgrades. Obviously, an indoor practice facility would definitely help. Probably recruit. I mean, a lot of guys don't want to practice outdoor every single day. At least, maybe if you live in Arizona or Florida or Texas, California, that's different. Nightwolf said hashtag DC for DC. Yo, man, you already know Nightwolf. Shout out to you. That was a fun, dude. It was such a fun season. As like, even though basically everything that could go wrong went wrong this season, being a part of DCTV this past season was so fun doing the play-by-plays. And I will definitely be doing the play-by-plays again next season, for sure. Like, it was a question of me even doing it this season because the YouTube was brand new and I was just doing videos. I wasn't even streaming. And I was like, I had this crazy idea, like, oh, let me do these play-by-plays. Like, I might gain a little bit of viewers. And I jumped from like 800 subs to 1,800 subs in a few months. Was getting thousands of views. Made money off of donations and views and stuff, and it was awesome. And I made a lot of friendships and a community at Discord, at Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Like, even made some merch, which kind of in a process of reworking right now. Kind of fell through, but yeah, man, it was so fun. And I will definitely be doing the play-by-play again this season. And if you don't know what that is, basically, kind of, I'm like an announcer. I do the game and I have the live chat, and either you can just listen to me and not watch, you can mute the TV, or a lot of the people don't live in the area, so they can't watch the game. Like, they don't live in Cincinnati, or if we're playing the Texans, they don't live in Houston, so they don't get the game. They don't have the TV packages, so they'll tune into my stream and listen to me do the play-by-play. I won't show the game, and then you have a huge chat to interact with. And I think some games got up to like 8,000 views, maybe more, which you might be like, oh, that's not a lot compared to big YouTubers. But when it's live and you have that many people in here at once, dude, they were crazy. I enjoyed them so much. Like, there's no doubt I would do it again this season. So I'm taking a photo for my Twitter. Go follow me. Anyway, I kind of got off topic there. Sorry. You live in Cincinnati? I do too. Live in Phoenix? You're lying. Dude, I wish. Atlanta? Uday Forever, what's up? I think are you new to the stream? I don't think I've seen you in here. Usually, I recognize a lot of the Mad Dog. I'm pretty sure you're not new. Maybe. I know I've had some dogs, like some dog names in here. Thoughts on the Bengals free agency? Man, you must have just hopped in here after 2 hours. I'm not going to repeat everything. If you want to, go back and start from the beginning of the stream and watch. But Bengals have kind of just replaced positions they've lost. They haven't made any giant gains. Like, lost Carl Lawson, got his replacement. Lost William Jackson, got his replacement. It's going to lose Mackenzie Alexander, got his replacement. Added a little bit to the defensive line. That's nice. Like the defensive tackle from the Browns. That's about it so far. Specifically about the players, if you want to know, go back. I went and talked about every single one of them. So if you want like more in depth, just rewind. Go where it's not live. Sorry, I'm just tweeting real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Uh, Galla or is it Galloo? It's Golla. Yeah. What we saying? What we saying? Uh, so what's the biggest move for you so far? I mean, money wise and just like all around like instant player who should make the most plays is Trey Hendrickson. He should be the most hands on, most money, all that. Like he should come in and instantly be one of the best players on the defense. Other than that, Joby Awuzie is kind of more of a what am I trying to say? Oh, there's a word. I just gotta grab it. What's the word? He's more of a risk. Like he has a high ceiling, but he's been injured, and he does get burnt sometimes. But so did William Jackson. He both was injured a lot and got burnt. But I think he has a high ceiling. And then Mike Hilton, I think that was like the smarts to let William Jackson go into the money they would have paid him to fit both of these corners, Awuzie and Hilton. I think was probably the best package move because Mike Hilton is one of the best slot corners in the entire NFL. So that was really sweet. And like Larry Ungun Joby, it was a good move too. None of these moves jump out to me. They're like, oh my gosh, but like they're solid. They're very solid. So appreciate you, John. Yeah, the streams, man, they're fun, and that's why I'm coming back and I'm doing them again. Obviously, I can't do game day streams because there's no game day, but yo, we're at 1,890 subs. We need a couple more people to sub, and we're at 1,900. 100 subs away from the jersey giveaway, the new stripes giveaway. So really appreciate that. And let's get the stream to 100 likes. Really appreciate all the support, guys. Appreciate. Let's catch up on the chat. Why did we resign Mike Thomas? Just for depth. I mean, I'm sure it was a really cheap deal. I don't really have a problem with it. Would have had rather like a DD Westbrook need some speed. Yeah, but I mean, he would have been more. Maybe not too much more, a couple million more. But that's what you get the draft for. I highly think that the Bengals would draft a receiver from round 4 to 7, a guy that's pretty speedy. A lot of those speedy receivers drop to those mid to late rounds. That's what you get the draft for. But yeah, I like DD Westbrook though. I just think he would have been more money. But I still think we're gonna draft receiver even with signing Mike Thomas. Like we need depth, especially if we don't sign Galladay. Then you swear you live in Phoenix? Hey man, I'll take your word. And I'm jealous. Just know that. Hey, Galladay. I hear you in the chat. Alex Erickson to the Texans. Is that legit? I mean, I'm not really butthurt over about it. The guy had one job to return punts, and he didn't really do it well. Yeah, the Texans are signing Dante Moncrief to a 1-year deal. Oh, yeah. Breaking. Alex Erickson is signing a 1-year deal with the Houston Texans. Yeah, and that's by Draft Diamonds on Twitter. Not verified, but 99,000 followers. Or no. Yeah. I don't know if it's too legit. Oh, breaking news: Alex Erickson gone forever. How long was he with the Bengals? He was with the Bengals for a decent amount of years, right? How many tweets is Galladay on Twitter at? No, it's not trending really much more anymore. It's been hours, but I don't even see it trending anymore. The last time I saw it was over 8,000 tweets, which is really insane. You guys killed it on Twitter today. Galladay sign yet? I would have to say no, my friend. I'm sorry. Did Riley sign yet? I would have to say no, Gabe. I'm sorry. Alex Faircatch Erickson is gone. You know who we should go get right now? Cordell Patterson. If we let Erickson go, we need to bring in Cordell Patterson. I'm going to tweet that right now. Pretty sure he's a free agent. He's a receiver, a running back, and a great kick / punt. I don't know if he returns punts. I know he returns kicks. That'd be cool. I don't know how much money he'd want, but he's just a gadget player, which we really don't have to think. You know, all these teams have gadget players. All the good teams have gadget players nowadays. You know, Saints gadget players, Chiefs gadget players. Even the Bucks have had gadget players. Who the Bengals have to be a gadget player? Giovanni Bernard, maybe. Tyler Boyd to throw a pass every season or two. Get Cordell Patterson as a gadget player. Tell me that would be pretty unique right there. And we need some speed. We're just talking about the Bengals need some speed. Don't get much faster than the Flash. Cordell Patterson, man, he is at least top 5 passes or fastest in the league, right? That is confusing, Justin. I agree with you on that. I hear you, Nick. I hear you. That is true. Another one. Justin, a free steak dinner is something to turn down. I agree with that. Aaron said Bengals over Bucks. Jahan, I'm not seeing much. Just looking on Twitter, buddy. The only thing I know is that Galladay is with the Giants right now, and it sounds like he's gonna be there overnight. Him and his agent are with the Giants. So it's not looking too well for the Bengals for him. Lake Joel says Darius Phillips should return punts now. Or go get Cordell Patterson and have him do it. One of the best returners in the NFL. Who am I? So that's why I'm saying Jahan bringing Patterson. What about Spain? Chewy, I've heard nothing about Quinn Spain, man, and I don't know why. That dude came in and became an instant leader in that locker room, in that front, in that offensive line, man. I am so confused what's going on with Quinn Spain, and I really want him back. I'll put some on Twitter. I'm not seeing much though. I mean, Erickson going to Houston, man. I mean, he'll probably start. I mean, he'll probably start receiver, kick returner, punt returner. Shoot, he might even be on the kickoff team to go tackle downfield. I mean, Houston's like so is so lackluster of talent right now. Alex Erickson actually might play a pretty decent role in Houston. Good for him. Hey, Render Blast Force on Twitter. That's what's up. No, I said any news on Quentin Spain during the Bengals, and he said no, but I'm watching your stream. Shout out to him. Shout out. Go hit me up on Twitter, man. Trent Williams is not worth 120 mil a year, or 23 mil a year, though. I mean, because of his age, it's hard to argue that. But then you look at guys like Andrew Whitworth, who, even though he got injured, he's like 30-something years old, and he's still the best in the league at what he does. Biggest mistake in the Bengals last decade was letting Andrew Whitworth go. I will say it till I bring it to my grave, man. That guy is like 38, 39 years old, and he is still the best freaking tackle in the NFL. So, and yeah, 23, a salary a lot, especially for an organization like the Bengals. But damn, at least you get to protect your quarterback. Yeah, you pay $23 million, but you don't got to get paid $23 million to another quarterback because your quarterback's hurt. It might never not be the same. That might be a little too much, but you get the point. Like, you might have to secure the bag to secure the quarterback. That makes sense. Is that a tweet worthy? Secure the bag to secure the QB? Or secure the bag, secure the protection? I hope they bring Mike Daniels back. Cut Geno. I totally agree. We talked about that earlier in the stream. You got to cut Hart and you got to cut Geno. But then somebody said earlier that they don't think Geno's on the contract, but I could have swore he is. And I'd like to see Mike Daniels come back to be a defensive tackle 3 or 4. You need depth, man. And he seemed like a good locker room player from what I saw. Hilton, a gadget player? He's a corner, though. I don't know, maybe. Hey, appreciate you, Gregory. Join the DC family. Hit that sub button. Jersey giveaway coming soon. Brandon Wilson's definitely a gadget player. So is Mixon. Is he, though? I mean, how could you call him? I haven't seen Wilson do anything besides return. And I haven't seen Mixon do anything besides play running back. Like, a gadget player is somebody who can line up as a receiver, possibly line up as a running back, can return, can play special teams. Like, in my eyes, that is a gadget player. Like, hold on. Also, like Taysom Hill without the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, like, Taysom Hill special because he can throw the ball. But, like, Taysom Hill without the cornerback, he plays special teams, he plays running back, he can play receiver, tight end. Like, Mixon doesn't do that because Mixon isn't getting paid to do that. Mixon's getting paid to run the damn ball, pass protect, and every now and then go for a screen to get the ball to Joe Burrow's hand so he doesn't get smashed by the 6 defensive linemen on our poor offensive line as of right now. So I don't really, me personally, I don't count him as a gadget player. Wilson, I haven't seen him. I know he does special teams, so I guess special teams, and I guess he's linebacker. I guess he's played safety too. So yeah, okay, I guess where you see that, but I guess he's more of like a defensive / special team / return. Yeah, okay, you got me. He's a gadget player, but not an offensive gadget player. Cordell Patterson, offensive gadget player. Cincinnati Bengals needs him. Let's go. The Saints cleared $111 million in cap space. It's crazy what an organization can do when they put their mind to something, huh? Brandon Wilson's definitely a gadget player, so is Mix. Oh, I just talked about. How do you feel about that? I don't know what you're talking about, Justin. I forgot what you said. Sorry, buddy. What about Eric Fisher? I'm not too sure. I don't think he's got picked up ever since he got released or cut. We will get him if he wants to play with Burrow. I mean, those teams don't have great QBs, and it's confusing why he wants to go there. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Galladay going to the Giants with Danny Dimes or going to Chicago with the Red Rocket, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. Yeah. He wants to go there so he can secure the bag on a long-term deal, where if he comes to Cincinnati, he's just going to get a one-year deal, which also isn't bad right now. It's bad because you don't have the longevity protection if you get hurt or anything, but it's also good because the salary cap bumps up next year. He can go get paid somewhere else on a bigger contract. Spain was solid. Spain was very, very solid. I want to see him back in a Bengals uniform. He'll probably have 20 fumbles too. Who you talking about? Taysom Hill. What's our cap with the signings? I don't know the exact cap, Chewy, but I know we have enough to do more signings. I know the Bengals have more than enough to sign some more players, and I know damn well if they cut Hart and Geno Atkins, which they freaking need to, they will have even more money. They'll have even more money if they do those two obvious cuts that they need to do. Hey, Jahan, I mean, you're right. Right, receivers would be lined up at the front door to be teammates with Joe Burrow, and that's why that was just going all crazy on Twitter is because apparently Burrow talked to Galladay on Good Morning or he didn't talk to him on Good Morning Football, but Burrow was talking to Galladay earlier today, and then Ian Rappaport got told that, and Ian Rappaport went on Good Morning Football to announce that happened. So obviously that helps, but money talks too. And more news: David Andrews will reportedly re-sign with the Patriots. Patriots building around Cam Newton. Good for them. I thought David Andrews wasn't going to return to New England, but I guess he did. Bill Belichick is talking something right now to his players. Obviously, he's talking money, but he has to be talking more than that because, man, they have gotten a haul of talent in just 3 days, 2 days. Nick said, I'm so sorry, but Mike Brown is so cheap. He should have not offered. He should not have offered Thuney and Zeitler Bobby Hart money. Thank you, but not thank you for bringing this up. I totally forgot about this. This went straight over my head. Holy crap, I want to cuss so bad right now. When I saw that news, essentially, if you don't know what you're talking about, a tweet was delivered, I think, yesterday. So the Bengals did offer Thuney and Zeitler. They both offered him, or at least Thuney, I know for sure. But apparently, they like severely underpaid them, like offered. Do you know how damn embarrassing that is? That your offensive line is your number one need because your star player that you just drafted just got severely injured because of your poor offensive line that you refuse to build. And you go and offer the best at the position available and you underpay them to come to the Cincinnati Bengals. It would be different if we were the Bucks or if you were the Chiefs or maybe the Patriots and you underpay them to try to get them to come to your team, or you're probably going to compete, but you freaking overpaid as or underpaid as the Cincinnati Bengals. I totally agree. I don't even know why he even offered. I mean that is like, oh, we're lagging a little bit. Sorry if we were lagging. Oh, we're lagging a little bit. I might have to go in a couple minutes because we just started lagging. But you get the point. Like the fact that he even like offered that type of money, that type of little money, is so embarrassing. Even as a fan, when I saw that on a tweet, I was embarrassed for myself. I'm like a dog putting his tail in between his legs. Like, are you kidding me, man? Like, why even offer? And the crazy thing is, like, maybe we don't have enough money to, throw in a 23 million in salary or 20 million in salary, but damn, I mean, we got enough money to offer a pretty good damn deal, a competitive deal. I don't like. Thank you for bringing that up, but you just got me so angry. But yeah, when I saw that, I flipped out, dude. I was so angry. We need to get Spain back and have him a leader if we can't get Swell. Move Jones to right tackle. uh, Yeah, no, I wasn't saying Mixon can't catch from the backfield. He definitely can, and he's done it. He is very effective from the screens. I'm just saying he's not lining up at receiver unless it's like a 5 out, which, he kind of has to. But yeah, he definitely has a little bit of scat back in him. Hey, appreciate you, Justin. Shout out, Justin. Do you think the Bengals had the best looking helmet in the history of football? I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's definitely one of the better ones. That's why it's so traditional, and it's been like that for a long time. Oh, I thought I had breaking news. Probably just saw my face drop. Damn. Never mind. I thought I had breaking news. Yeah, so here's some stats about the Galladay earlier. Galladay was #1 trending in sports, #1 trending in the US, 5 trending worldwide, and about 25,000 tweets earlier. So shout out to all the Twitter people and the Bengals fan base. That was insane earlier. Money definitely does talk. If you're aware of sports, a lot of players' decisions are influenced by money. Majority of the players are, actually. That's why when players make a loyal choice, it's like once in a lifetime. That's why Brady is Brady. No other all-time great has done what he's done. I honestly might have to end the live soon because I think we've been live so long, the stream is starting to lag. Matter of fact, I'm about to do this. I'm about to turn my webcam off. Hopefully the audio is still fine, but I'm going to do this so maybe my computer will stressing out. But here's what I'm going to do, folks. I am going to hop off this stream. I'm going to fire up another stream that's going to be like if Riley Reef or Galladay signs tonight, I will be live again as soon as they sign. If they sign tomorrow, I won't be live because I will be on campus. I'm at Xavier. But so I'm gonna end the stream here. I appreciate you guys being here for the last 3+ hours. It's been a lot of fun. 3 hours and 3 minutes, matter of fact. Here we go again. We might be good. But yeah. That's a nice chair. What kind is it? Oh, it's still lagging. It's a Oha Oho. I don't know how to say it. I got it from like Japan. But let me see if I got any more comments before I head out. Duke Tobin or Mike Brown? I don't know if there's one person specific, but I would assume that it's a group decision between Duke Tobin and Mike Brown, whoever's cutting the checks, and then also Zach Taylor, if that player fits his scheme. Yeah, I'm going to turn this off. This looks bad. So, let's see. But that's crazy. We haven't signed an offense lineman yet. Yeah, man, you're reading my mind. Howdy, Steven. Sorry you're just now tuning in. I'm about to head out. Been live for over 3 hours. If you're just now joining in, go back and watch the stream from the start. I cover all free agency news for the Bengals. If you like what you see, hit the sub button. We're about 110 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers. When we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a new Stripes Bengals jersey giveaway to one of my lucky DCTV family members. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. The goal is 100 likes. Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday, 7:00 p.m. Eastern time, I will be going live. Join the Discord, follow me on my socials. Everyone have a great rest of your Thursday. Tomorrow's Happy Friday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Riley Reef is a Cincinnati Bengal. Kenny Galladay is a Cincinnati Bengal, and possibly some other players. If you want to stay updated, join the Discord, link in the description, total free group chat, and join my Twitter, Drew_Collins11 for all Bengals news. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Also watch some March Madness. It's March Madness season. Oh yeah, my computer's lagging, man. Computer's lagging. Been live too long. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And Houday Nation, as always.